Guys out. Decoy.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the LAN finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with a machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single-panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
Well. Hello, everybody. Another day of some really intense esports. Well, we're talking about the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons' Master League, brought to you by Omen by HP HyperX. And Angie?
Yes.
We've got Intel also as one of our sponsors.
Definitely.
I was checking you.
I was going to tell you that you forgot to mention Intel, but then you brought it up.
I was checking you. It was a ploy here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these were our amazing sponsors. In fact, apart from that, all of the Salabaloo has been presented to you by the lovely folks, which also includes this amazing woman here, Angela, who's our co-host and analyst here. And all of this has been brought to you by Norton Gaming and ESL India. So, in the offing, we have 3 amazing games as usual: Clash Royale, CSGO, Dota 2. Nothing really interesting about them unless and until we talk about the people involved in it. And by the people, I mean the players. So, let's start off with the first player, Mukul 8-bit Archel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Mukul 8-bit Archel here, member of the Masters League, and totally striving to be up there in the top. But sadly, it just so turns out we have so many beasts of sorts.
Definitely. I mean, as of now, if you look at Mukul, he is sitting 6th on the board. He's played about 8 games. He's won 4 of them, and he's lost 3. So now he's struggling a little bit with 7 games played. If he wins this, of course, it will be his 5th victory. And also, he is defending champion from the winter season. So hoping to see whether he'll be able to take this game strongly. I have a lot for this player because, see, Mukul was, first of all, he always thinks out of the box. He has always played cards that I've never expected him to play. Even like we spoke about recently how we played the Sparky as a defending card. So if he does that against Satikshan, he could break Satikshan's win streak, and that would be very, very nice to see how he actually plans to do that, because Satikshan hasn't really lost anything till now.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be really fun to see. I don't mean to say that Mukul 8-bit Archel is any less of a good player. Just that in comparison to Satikshan B Joshi, everybody seems like an underdog. Like, I mean, for all we know, for Christ's sake, Mrinmoy Lakar is like down there.
Yeah.
Like 8-bit won the winter season finale.
Yeah.
He is behind Satikshan B Joshi. So that would be a sight to see. In fact, since we've spoken so much about Satikshan B Joshi, let's put a face to that name. Satikshan B Joshi, ladies and gentlemen, hails from the state of J&K and the region of Leh and Ladakh.
Yes.
And she remembers the last time she said Satikshan B Joshi very coolly, casually, he's from Jammu and Kashmir. Totally forgot for a second that apparently Leh and Ladakh is also an extension of the state. It's okay. Everybody makes that mistake, Angie. I'm not holding that grudge against you.
I mean, you would know a lot about...
How would I know a lot about it? I've never stepped foot in that land, and it's supposed to be like my native land. But sadly, I was born brought up in UP, so...
But anyway, talking about this player, as of now, he does sit 2nd on the board. He's been undefeated, 5 games down. He's played against the best of the best, whether we talk about Arpan, we talk about Marin, we talk about Devil's Twin. He's really made sure that he's been able to stay on the top. I also see that this player is going to mostly make it to the land finale, and if he does, it'll be really nice to see whether he's going to continue the same kind of incredible performance that he's showcasing online, even on land.
Indeed. I mean, our viewers can see the standings right now, and they can see it for themselves how meticulously this guy has ensured that Satikshan B Joshi right now, he's literally pulling off a Brutality until they met SRA or Entity Gaming after that. But it's a good run. Satikshan has a lot of games still in his kitty in comparison to Arpan or Sushil Abhisha, who've played like 9 and 8 games respectively. In fact, me and Gautam were that day discussing about Manmohan Mehtab Singh, who lost his 3rd game yesterday. So he's played 3 games. He still has a lot of leg space to cover up if he manages to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough time for him, because the last 4 candidates of any Masters League post the summer season land finale, they get relegated down to the Challenger, and the top 4 of the Challenger climb up to the Masters. So that's like swap.
There's somehow, but there's something about with all these particular players. Whether you talk about Manmohan in general, also he's kind of now seen all the players play against other players. He's kind of understood how everybody plays against each other, and I think that way somewhere he's on a much higher foot coming into this part, because he's only played 3 games. He has about another 9 games to play, or even more than that. And if that is so, he can actually just go back on our ESL YouTube channel, watch everybody's games, and kind of figure out who are the toughest ones he has to beat, which of them kind of play against his deck really well, which don't. And I feel that's why Manmohan has a much higher chance of making it to the top faster, even though he has lesser time to make it
Yeah,
there.
he's got some good games to take a look at.
Yes.
And be better at them. That's like homework done well.
Yeah.
In a way of speaking. So what do you have to say about today's game? I mean, we are yet to see the banned cards. In fact, let's get the banned cards right now first, before we head on to the players.
Okay, so the Golem gets a ban there. I don't really see Sutikshan playing the Golem that much, so this is just that Mukul just doesn't want to play against the Golem card.
He
And that's
doesn't
good
want
one
that
way.
Golem push.
That also says that he somewhere wants to use the Pekka and the Expo card quite a bit, because he does like that combination. Meanwhile, Sutikshan going to just ban out the Goblins, making sure that Mukul doesn't really go against his Goblin draft, because he does like to play the Goblins quite a bit, whether it's a Spear, it's the normal Goblin gang. If you look at their trophies, very similar way, about say 100k lead by Satikshan, but other than that,
true. But again,
fine.
I want to draw your attention to something very interesting here. If you take a closer look at these cards, take a look at the second last stat there, 3 crown wins. If you see the amount of games they've played, the matches played, 13,000 for 8-bit Mukul and 9,600 for Beast. It's a very minor difference in terms of the amount of games played, but the amount of 3 crown victories here for Satikshan Joshi and for 8-bit Mukul,
it's
in
almost
comparison to the
100% more.
It's double. It's double to that of Beast. And the amount of matches they've played is not like, halfway there. Like Satikshan is not like halfway behind 8-bit Achal. It's just about the fact that it shows how much of effort you've put in the game to ensure that you solidify your victory. Satikshan Beast Joshi is a fast lad. He's an agile chap. He needs if you see all his games, he doesn't. So I believe, it's my opinion, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I personally believe that there are kind of players who prefer going for a 3 crown victory because it satisfies their, I don't want to use the word ego, because I'm not saying that they're egoistic. I'm just trying to say it's like for their inner satisfaction. Man ki shanti ke liye.
You get the whole cake rather than just a piece of it.
Yeah. Satikshan is like the agile chap. He wants to get done with it. He wants to win fast, whether it's like a 1 crown victory or a 2 crown victory. He wants that victory more than the 3 crown victory.
And that is, he follows that also quite a lot in his games. I mean, once he takes down that first star, he's just concentrating on defense. He doesn't really look at, I've finished one tower, let me go for the other one.
Exactly.
He just likes to be very patient with his cards. And I think that's why he's always been able to come forward. Because aggression and taking down the tower, okay, you got that right. But what about your defense? If you're going to not hold that defense the correct way, you are going to fail. And he's made sure that that mistake has never been really made by him.
And apart from that, it's a lot to do about the confidence level, because a lot of people, when they get the first crown, the Princess Tower, they have an option of either like defending like a Satikshan Beast Joshi, or they have an option to split push, like do an aggressive push from the tower which has gone down, and then take. It's kind of like being greedy, because you know that you're like kind of like there, but not entirely there. So you don't want to like you want to like solidify your victory further, add insult to injury. And that in a lot of cases ends up being the downfall of the aggressor.
That is absolutely true.
I mean, it works in a lot of matches in the fact that it goes against the aggressor and the games get overturned. Suddenly you see, oh, what's happening? I have a different kind of scene altogether. I've lost my own tower in the process. So that becomes a problem. So, well, that's what we have from the studio when it comes to our players and the game at hand. Why don't we move to the game itself? Gotham Workaholic, where my gentle giant, adorable and fluffy is going to be taking this game forward. So over to you, Workaholic.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another day of Clash Royale casting, and this is Gotham Workaholic. I think Vagish just nicely called me fat. And I don't know how to take that, so he just said fluffy, aka fat. So I don't know. But we have good game in the offing here. We have 8-bit Mukul versus the Beast. Beast unbeatable till now. Let's see if Mukul can put a dent in his winning streak. If anyone could, I think Arpan and Mukul are the top contenders for putting dents. And Arpan did try very well. It came very close, however, not able to close the victory. It did go to the last game altogether, but Beast managed to secure the victory here. So Beast, actually Mukul gets another chance to beating Beast here. So here we go. Beast unbeatable versus Mukul, who actually won the LAN event recently in December, the winter finale of last year. So this is going to be quite an interesting game. We see a few units here and there. We actually saw that Prince getting stopped by a silly skeleton who could not actually get a direct hit on the tombstone. So a lot of back and forth here. Mukul going for a skeleton barrel, which is going to be spawning a lot of units if the moment it blows up. And of course a decent tank as well. So here comes the big push. We've been seeing a lot of Dart Goblin lately. And look at that King Tower bringing a lot of help in there, doing extra damage to the miner. So that'll be helping him out a lot throughout the game. Beast off to a great start, I would have to say, but does take a lot more damage on the tower on the right. Beast has the right kind of card to actually a deck to deal with the situation he is in. Poison will be one of those deterrents actually, which he'll be using constantly on that tombstone or defensively. We'll see how it comes out. There you go. Finally, the poison comes out, getting the tombstone as well, and consistently doing some chip damage on that tower. Mukul is coming out fairly well in this, and here comes the Hog Rider and the Fireball alongside. Prince actually spawns in fire. Actually, Prince spawned in the hell of that fire. So anyways, interesting big push coming in, and Log has been taken out of the rotation here. So the skeletons will get a free reign. No, immediately swept away thanks to that Nado. King Tower helping out, of course, a lot. It seems like Mukul has a very simple strategy. He wants to poison this tower down eventually, as much as holding back these pushes that will be coming at him. He has baited the Log out early, so Goblin Gang will be there to make some work out of this. And here comes the Hog Rider, which has been a little pesky so far, is always consistently getting a few hits in. However, now down to 200 health, Mukul's game could be changed around. Let's see how he's able to hold this. 200 health left on the clock there. And another Hog Rider coming in to close this game. Nothing will contest that Hog Rider coming in. Boom. Takes the hammer, plucks it down on the Prince's Tower, and secures the first victory for Beast. Beast being absolutely beast so far. Taking that 1-0 lead right in the beginning. So will we see Beast being an absolute beast and going through all the Master League players without losing a best of 5, or Mukul stands a chance of coming back and making something happen? So let's find out in the next game, game 2 of this best of 5. Let's talk more about the bans here while these guys are aggressively placing units here and there. Bans, we have the Goblin Barrel being banned by Beast, and we have the Golem being banned. Now, interesting thing about the Golem ban, I'm thinking maybe it's a good way to kind of take out the Inferno Dragon out of the picture here, because, you know, not a lot of use left for Inferno Dragon. But we of course have other heavy cards as well, which we have not been seeing a lot lately. What we have not seen lately is the big skeleton that carries a bomb. Yes, the giant skeleton. We've not been seeing a lot of him. Not sure what's going on there. I used to really like that card, but I think it's completely out of the meta here. So quite interesting deck by Beast actually. He's quite a mix of units. He has the Royal Ghost, the Flying Barrel, and on Mukul's side he has the Mortar. So Mortar is going to be interesting if he gets a good placement on that Mortar. I think he can do a lot of damage. So far, I think he's been using it pretty defensively. Here we go, another defensive Mortar being placed down. I want to see if the ball actually hits. No, it actually doesn't hit the Goblin. They're too fast for the Mortar. Another unit to keep an eye out for is Beast Archer. But I don't see a lot of heavy units on Mukul's side, so I don't think Archer will be able to you know, go through the units and hit the tower, because there's never going to be these slow moving units that you can do a well placement archer on. So quite a mix of cards here, and it's quite interesting, this match. I actually understand so far. What I see is Mukul is kind of going for the chip. He has the mortar he can use defensively also. I would love to see it being used a bit more offensively. However, the point here has been fairly simple. Chip away at his opponent and hopefully close the game. And let's see who will come out ahead. Mukul, bleeding some elixir there, decides to put down the mortar finally. Will be able to hit that miner eventually and take him down as well. So consistently pushing across different sides, fairly cheap units, spawning a lot of skeletons there who are trying to do some damage on the tower. However, will be able to bring it down 1700 health. Finally, the mortar has now locked on to that building, bringing in some value, doing a lot of damage. Will be able to close that before dying. So good stuff coming out there. Beast is trying his best to kind of get some damage in towards Mukul, but Mukul seems very consistent with defending his tower as well. So bit of an advantage going towards Mukul right now, because those miners consistently are going behind and chipping away at that tower. So it's going to be quite interesting. I don't see how this game is going anywhere. This is quite an intense game of chip. And here comes the poison. Will quickly clear out the skeletons as well. But the value the miner is bringing in, it's amazing actually. The miner has been throughout bringing a lot of value for this deck. And look at the mortar. It's just like, I really don't like that goblin hut actually, and barbarian hut, and there's a goblin hut right behind him actually doing some key damage there. So a lot of units on the field right now. He could be in trouble. Beast might see a loss coming in for him. Will not be able to hold for 2 minutes. I think a poison, actually no, Mukul doesn't have a poison. It is Beast that who has a poison. So I think another great push with the miner coming in. Will be able to close this game. Yes, it does. Miner finally closes the game. MVP of this match has been the miner. 1-1 is the score. Mukul has evened out the game now. And to add mystery to this, I'll say it again in this voice. Can Mukul defeat Beast? Can it finally happen? Is today the day where Beast sees his first loss? We don't know, and I guess we will find out soon enough. It's a best of 5. 1-1 is the score. Let's get into the next game right about now. Game is live. We see some changes in the deck by Mukul. And Beast has actually opted for his own mortar now. It's quite interesting. Mortar taking some damage. Is able to hold its own. Thanks to this ice golem actually. Getting few key hits in. Mortars now finally locked on to that tower. Will be trying to bring that down. This is quite interesting to see how Beast has actually copied Mukul's deck completely in this case, which he must have been a big fan of. The Skellies will come out and will clear out the goblin hut there quickly. And now I guess it's just going to be a same slow-paced game where people are just trying to chip away. There's no big, scary cards that we're going to be seeing. So here comes the mortar doing its best. Pressurized from both sides, protected. I think the mortar is pretty... it might be out of range of that goblin hut, by the way. But the miner's here to clear out the goblin hut. No. Does get more splash damage on the hut. It was out of range, but thanks to that unit, it was able to get the slash damage down on that hut. So pretty good value coming out. But this is what Beast was not expecting. Look at that. There is a minor poison, a graveyard and poison coming out. However, he held on to that pretty well, only taking a little bit damage. I think that key zap really helped him out. Really his plan right now is to kind of use the mortar to do damage to the tower. However, every single time he's not able to get a nice connect. Always distracted, that mortar is always direct. Finally locks in. What's going on here? We are seeing the mortar actually not targeting the tower still. It was quite interesting. I thought mortar had connected to the tower, but I guess there was just a couple of key units in front that the mortar was targeting at this point. So mortar, another mortar down. This is quite a slow and methodical push. This is pretty slow, but here comes a big push on the right, and Beast needs to hold. Anything he puts down will be eaten away by the poison. However, look at the placement of the goblins there, just out of range of poison, but the damage is done. This is some serious damage taken, and 23 seconds left on the clock. Mukul can really close this game really quickly if he rotates and does his unit placement correctly. A very nice Electro Wizard coming down, clearing out a lot of these units. And I think this is going to be a GG soon, and he has enough elixir to push on the right, and he should about drop it right now, playing a little bit safer. Doesn't want to kind of go all in because that balloon has popped and a lot of skellies have come out, and Miner has also come out, trying to get something done, not able to close this game, and more and more pressure is being put on him, and finally kind of decides to go all in. And here comes the poison graveyard combo, and this will clear out the tower just about now. Game 3 going in favor of Mukul, and he is finally in the lead. Beast could end up getting a loss. Finally. Who knows? He had quite a streak going, by the way, till now. He's not lost a single game, and Beast could potentially see a loss coming in for him if he decides to throw another game. Not that I'm saying he's throwing, but I'm like, he loses another game. And Mukul showing why he is one of the best and why he deserves the respect, even though he's not really high on that charts right now. But he will be after beating Beast if he does end up beating him. So, best of 5, score 2-1. Mukul just needs one more game to close this series of 5, and Beast needs to win 2 more games in a row if he wants to hold on to his #1 spot of not losing a single game. I've been actually noticing a lot of these low elixir decks are there where you have a Nado to defend against any funny things coming at your tower. Both of them actually opting for a Hog Rider here. Mukul has a cannon defensively. I'm yet to see if Beast has any of those defensive buildings to kind of shoo away the Hog Rider, which will he has a tombstone already placed. But if Mukul takes care of that tombstone, there's only a Nado stopping him from hitting that tower, by the way. So it'll be quite interesting match here. Both of the guys opting for a Hog Rider, and finally a Hog Rider is revealed. A big Hog Rider coming in, distracted by the cannon. Cannon now finally connects on the Hog Rider, will be bringing it down. A fireball coming in, but the Musketeer still alive, still doing damage, and the log will finally roll in and kill the Musketeer. And we've kind of evened out here, but the Hog Rider's in and the Tombstone is in also. Nice distraction. That's a lot of skeletons now knocking on the door of Mukul. Mukul needs to... This is almost like that skeleton spell actually. The skeleton army was pretty much spawned out there, so good for him. He had to put down a few units to stop that big push. Both the guys even on elixir. Beast is leading by a single elixir, but will he bleed? No, he will not. Very efficient use of the elixir. And now puts down an Ice Wizard. And does he put down a prediction fireball there? Not working out for him, but the log will be there. Actually, it did work out for him. He did hit the Musketeer. Now, good move by Beast here, activating the King Tower. Pretty much double damage for him. So good for him. He managed to pull in the Hog Rider and activate his tower. Both of these guys going for a similar kind of build. Nice hit on the tower again. These guys are slowly chipping away at their opponent's tower. So Mukul will really need to keep an eye out on how he's placing the units. And Hog Rider's actually gone. Okay, good. That log completely missed. That was a really bad log, by the way. However, still connecting to the Musketeer, still doing the chip damage to the tower. He's fireballed that tower at least 6 times now and logged it about 4 or 5 times also. So this has been a constant push, and the Hog Rider not able to come through and connect to the tower. However, this game is super close. Both the guys kind of going for the similar kind of build. They want to fireball, and they want to log the tower there. And here comes the log, defensively used. A nice distraction, very nice fireball there. Hog Rider was able to get a single hit there, so nice for him. And here comes the Beast Hog Rider, who will not make it through and get a hit. Very well played there by Mukul. And now it's his game to defend. Nice distraction coming in. A fireball also coming in. Does connect to the tower. And I think with the rotations coming in and the lead that Mukul have over his opponent there, I think his fireballs will eventually close the game for him. So a few more fireballs and this is game over. Nice distraction coming in. Fireball still available for Mukul. Throws down the log, connects, bringing the tower health down to 8-10. Fireball again available. I like how Beast is placing his units far away from the tower. Does not want to engage with his opponent close to the tower because he knows fireball is around. Mukul thinking whether he wants to throw the fireball. Has to use the fireball defensively because he had to take the health down of both of these units. Very intense and close game. However, I've noticed Beast not able to get his Hog Rider close to the tower, consistently being pushed back. Consistently units are being thrown to stop that Hog Rider. However, Beast has a similar kind of setup as well. He has the Tombstone to distract the Hog Rider from Mukul. And the fireballs now not hitting the towers. This game has kind of gone into this, this stall. And what's going to happen, we don't know right now. And again, finally, Beast getting a fireball through and his Hog Rider getting a hit in the tower there. Great play there. And Mukul now all of a sudden looking like he's in a lot of trouble. Beast could be very fast closing this game in for him. Beast could actually win this game. And I believe this is Beast could easily close this game right now if he gets another Hog Rider and a fireball in. Again, Mukul's fireball used defensively to take away that Tombstone. And here comes Mukul's Hog Rider and distracted, very well distracted there, by the way. And he's getting a free reign on the tower. Will he get a hit? No, so close, yet too far. 500 health left on Mukul's tower. Beast kind of had have the lead right now. And here comes the Hog Rider from Mukul, getting another hit and a fireball. Jesus, that was a turnaround. And Mukul now looking like he is a fairly strong position. Beast has to make a decision now. What's he going to do? Another fireball will kill him. And this is good game. Beast played very well and finally going down with only 5 seconds left in overtime. Mukul finally beat the unbeatable Beast. That is Sutikshan Joshi. Wow. And what a game, by the way. This has been an amazing game. Very methodical. Both the players knew what needs to be done. And finally, Mukul beating the unbeatable player so far. Finally putting a loss on the table for Beast. The Beast must be feeling really bad right now. But Mukul, my God, you played like a beast against the Beast. So that was the game of Clash Royale for today. We have exciting Counter-Strike and Dota 2 coming up next. I'm going to send it back to the studio where Vagish and Zara are waiting for my call. Welcome back.
Chile and
That was fantastic. All right.
All right.
First of all, very big congratulations to Mukul. I mean, he played amazing Clash Royale right now.
Indeed, Angie. I think this now the time is ripe for top players, unbeaten players, to understand that they can be defeated.
Yeah.
Like, remember that thing which I said to you? People at the top in the Masters League have everything to lose. And people coming in from the bottom have everything to win.
Yeah.
They've got nothing to lose. They come with conviction, they come with the confidence, they come with diligence. And that is what this game was about today.
Yes, it was definitely. I mean, just breaking down the game in general, the first game that we saw, Beast took that game for himself. He had amazing aggression coming in from his end. But in the second game, we saw that it was Mukul who kind of took charge of things over there. He made sure that the minor card was played at the right time, and that kind of made so much difference for the game. In the third game, I think Beast got a little too. Free, I would say, because he kind of just copied Mukul's deck to play it against him. And when you do something like that, you need to understand that that person has played that deck because he knows how to counter that deck. And that is what Mukul basically did in the third game. And the fourth game, this was the game that kind of changed everything. I mean, both these players used the similar pushing card, and that was a Hog Rider. Other than that, everything else was defensive. Whether you talk about the skeletons, you talk about the poison, you talk about so many things, they were just completely defensive. And it was just wittiness coming out. If I'm going to place this, I know he's going to do this, 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 this. He's going to counter it. He's going to make sure that he doesn't have the leverage over me. And the only reason Mukul kind of took that was just at the end of the day, it all depends on the cycle of the cards. And if your cycle comes correctly according to what you're playing, it kind of makes you win the game. And that's basically how he won, because most of the rounds, Beast had the Hawk, but then he did know that Mukul already had the cards to kind of defend against the Hawk. And in the last cycle that we saw where Mukul made that push, there was nothing coming in from Beast to kind of defend that last inch, that 1 second that he needed for the cycle to complete. And that's why he took the game. The first game, if we again go back to the first game, I mean, the only mistake that Mukul had made was that he didn't have a distraction card. He didn't have like a tar card, like a mortar or a cannon, which he kind of again understood. By second and third game, you had both of them bringing in so many distraction cards for the one card that's going to push to the tar. And this is just skillful gameplay. I mean, at the end of the day, if you kind of understand where your mistakes are and you know your opponent's weakness, you kind of definitely can go ahead and defeat them. And Mukul has always done it. And this game is another important way to say that Mukul has played the Sparky, he has played the Pekka, he's played so many big cards as defense, but today he didn't choose to do that. He went all old school. He went and picked up the lowest elixir cards, and he defended so beautifully. And that says that also that this player knows all his cards. He knows how to play the game. He knows and understands how his opponents are going to play, and that's always going to keep him at the top, because that is how a veteran player is born. So
well said, well said. Well, that ends Clash Royale for us, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back again with some interesting CSGO. And, of course, don't forget, while you're at it, that there is this, what do you call it? Yeah, the small bell-like button there, right on the stream. Yeah, you got to press that. You got to press that so that you can get notified each and every single time we come to you guys with all the latest updates and all the latest streams when it comes to your favorite sports. When I say sports, I meant esports. I hope we've made that very evidently clear. And also, you can subscribe. You can subscribe to our channel. You'll get all the latest updates. In fact, if you want all the halabaloo and the, what do they call it? Masala and the inside scoop, then you can go ahead and type esports 360 and follow it. My amazing and vivacious colleague Angela presents it every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 p.m. IST on Nordwind Gaming's Facebook page. Do not forget to check it out and subscribe to it, if in case you want all the latest scoop from Indian esports news and, of course, global too. Yeah. We'll be back again with some really amazing games, CSGO, like I said, and Dota 2 following that. Remember, this is the ESL India Premiership 2018, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented by Nordwind Gaming and ESL. We'll be back again soon.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the LAN finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
Proud, isn't it all?
Welcome back, everybody. Out of this short commercial break here, I'm your host, Vagish Gotslebhan, once again, and Angela Azara Gonzalez.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll be doing Counter-Strike with you today.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think this is where you give me
a slow-mo high five.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Jokes apart, everybody. The time is nigh when we will be bringing forward to you an interesting game, because one of the teams having a showdown today suffered the second major defeat pretty recently against a top-tier team, which also had three defeats now. Like, I don't know, this is like the season for defeats. Like, summer is here.
But that makes it really exciting to see. I mean, no one is lesser than the other. They all are competing for a lot on the table, and it's a lot of money. I mean, it's 1 crore in the prize pool.
A lot is at stake when it comes to these top-tier teams. We're talking about a match between Brutality and Malhar. Let's quickly take a look at the first team, Team Brutality. Alrighty then, that's Team Brutality, one of the oldest CSGO teams in the country. Recently lost to Entity Gaming after getting their first loss registered against Team SRA. And they're going to have a showdown against this new team, in a way of speaking, because last time we saw a couple of these players in this team, they were playing for a different banner altogether.
Yes.
A very controversial one on top of that. We're talking about Team Malhar. Let's take a look at them. All right, that's Team Malhar there. Anti Dotenberg, Proud, Poker Ref, everybody is here. In fact, for our newcomers, I'm pretty sure you must have heard of this team called Dare to Dream at a point of time. These guys used to play for that team quite some time ago, before a lot of controversies happened, a lot of hullabaloo happened, and finally these guys formed a team called Malhar. Well, that's predominantly the crux of it.
Yes.
They're going to have a showdown. Brutality versus Malhar are going to it's going to happen today. Both of these teams are going to have a showdown. Wow, my mouth is like blah, 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 blah. Okay, so both of these teams are going to have a showdown. I am pretty sure Brutality, coming off fresh from a loss, are going to look for some good revenge, some good old revenge served cold, and I'm really interested to see how Malhar takes this challenge up. In fact, while we're at it, let's quickly take a look at the map, pick and veto, and see how it looks. Why do I even ask? Like, why do I even ask? Like, what is this? If we had to do it in Inferno, there should not be a map, pick, veto. This is...
I think this is the 8th game of Inferno being played.
Even I
more,
think 2 weeks we
more,
played just like continuously Inferno, dude. Like the only two maps you will see in the summer season are either like, apart from Inferno, like either Overpass or Mirage.
Yeah.
Like, it's a staple. Like, slowly and steadily, Inferno is being made through the ESL India Premiership, the official map for India. But again, for the facilitation of all our viewers here, Train, Cash, and Train, Cash, and Nuke got banned by Brutality, whereas Overpass, Dust2, and Mirage got banned by Team Malhar, and Inferno got picked in the process. Like I keep saying, this again brings us back to the same old rut here. Very, very, very strat-heavy map. This map has been the decisive playground for a lot of teams' losses, for a lot of humiliation, for a lot of teams when it comes to their losses, and a lot of victories for teams who never thought of like being victorious.
Yeah.
This is a perfect example. This map is a perfect example of the fact that if you strategize well, if you do your homework well, you can win this game even against the strongest of teams. And that is why we're going to take you straight ahead into this small video we created for this map.
Inferno. This map is not like any other traditional CSGO map. It does not revolve heavily around mid-control. The two most important areas of control are the apartments and banana. You lose control of either one of these areas and you're going to have a bad time.
Well, after that Sasta David Attenborough voice also explaining the same thing, which is evidently, again, just me, I've been informed that the game is ready, the players are ready, and so are my casters, the amazing duo. Guess who the duo is this time? Angie, you know who the duo is?
Yes, I know who they are.
Okay, but the viewers don't. So let's tell it to the viewers. It is my favorite metalhead caster, Sudhair Blawahing Bam, along with our Sasta Bihari, Ajisman Fet Pradhan. Now I'm just...
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another matchup. It is match day, and it is going to be Brutality facing off against Malhar. My name is Bleh, joining me as usual. Well, not as usual, to be honest. It's the first time I'll be casting with him, at least for this season of the ESL India Premiership. It is going to be Archie, aka Fet. How are you?
Hey, Rumi, what's up?
Just got to shout it out from the top of a building, don't you? It is going to be Brutality. It's going to be Malhar. You know more about these two teams. I've been casting a few of Brutality's games. I haven't really had the opportunity to cast Malhar, though. So, Inferno again. And this is a pretty aggressive setup coming out from the CTs towards Banana. They're going to mow everyone down. The flank coming in. 4 guys stacked towards B. And we also have Venom slowly pushing in. Are they overcommitting? Because Proud's going to get 2 quick kills. But Venom is in such a great position. The flank is in. The bomb is dropping Venom. And he knows where one player is. Spots out Proud. Fox is going to find Shabby. It's all an antidote with the Glock. He's going to find 1. Needs to find 2 more. He spots out Fox. They're trying to go for the pre-fires. The Glock. 8 bullets remaining. But Rix is going to peek out. Peekaboo gets the kill. And that was a very surprising CD side setup coming out from Brutality.
I think Brutal are taking out these words a little too much to heart. I mean, he has been helping them set up in Inferno, and he's been consistently telling them that, They need to be more aggressive. They need to be more aggressive. That round, we just saw unbridled aggression across the board. Venom pushing apartments, the 4 players bum rushing Banana. At one point, it was a 3v3, but Venom just got his timing down so perfectly that he was able to push Gutter and get the 2 kills. That left, Anti with no choice. He was in a 1v3. And at that point, he did come up with 1 kill, but it was too little too late. Anyway, they've got... This is the anti-force. Obviously, Malhar are going to force up. So now is the true test for Brutality. Indian teams have been struggling against the anti-force, as we saw yesterday. Can they hold off is the question.
Can they hold off? Because Brutality are allowing Malhar to get a lot of information here towards Banana. The Poker F, quite deadly with the Desert Eagle. He will be making a bit of noise, making his presence felt, but he'll be falling back while the rest of his team is making a play for the A bomb site. They're going to come in dry, and Juventa, if he baits this out right, they're going to get mowed down, but A-Star just finds 2 kills, and it is going to be Blackhawk. Sorry, Foxy who finds Blackhawk, but Foxy peeks out again, gets a 2nd kill. Now it's all on Pokerev. Bomb hasn't been picked up, and I don't think they know exactly where he is. Flashbang's going to pop it. Pokerev is going to take the fight. He's going to find Venom. Hasn't taken much damage here. So 1v2 very much doable for him with 43 seconds on the clock. But the bomb is dropped right in front of Rix and Foxy. They have a pretty decent crossfire being set up here. Not ideal, but Pokerev has a lot of work to do. And the problem for him is he doesn't have any utility to work with. So he's got to go for the contact play, and Rix is there. He finds a frag as Foxy distracts for him. A little expensive round for Brutality, but they do manage to salvage or keep those 2 FAMASs in play despite losing those UMPs. And for Malhar, forced by Bomb not getting planted, they're not going to be too happy about this. So it is going to be 2-0 for the Mumbai side.
I'm just at the... I think he will just be glad that they were able to see off that anti-force without, Yeah, they took three people as casualties, but alright, they kept the 2 rifles alive. They got most of their kills on the SMGs. They'll be a happy bunch, but Malhar right now, they've got a lot to figure out. It looks like Brutality have this in the bag. Juventa again opening things up with a kill on a Shabby, but Proud gets A-star. Juventa, that puts him in a bit of a pickle, but that nade just landed on Proud's back. Wow, that's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt. He's down to 9 HP.
Indeed,
well,
he
it's
is.
a 4v3. Yeah.
No, it's kind of... I mean, they do lose the 1... UMP, sorry, not a UMP, the MP9s. I don't think Brutality are going to be too worried about this. But for Malhar, it's virtually no investment into this. The P250 has been dropped by Antidote towards Blackhawk, I do believe, while Antidote's wielding that MP9, so they will try to at least get 1 more kill. They'll be pretty happy with that. Bomb getting planted looks unlikely, though, as that incendiary is going to separate everyone. And Juventa, the spray... Sorry, Juventa actually helping his teammate out. Foxy not quite getting the spray right, and Juventa still holding onto the side. He's on an ace as well, an anti-eco ace, but still, and he's gonna get the ace. They lose 2 guns. The M4 will be picked up. They lose the FAMAS and a 2 and 1 MP9. I don't think they're gonna be too worried about this. They lose a couple of players from Malhar, though. The buy is gonna come out, and here's the thing. The question I'd had rather for you, Archie, is the fact is Brutality have been pretty much asphyxiating Malhar here on the T side. They haven't really given them much room to work with. Are they going to continue with that? Or are they going to be playing a little bit more static, a little bit more default during their gun rounds?
So we saw Brutality doing this during against Entity as well. They really applied pressure like a vice grip during the anti-ecos and the anti-forces. But in the buy rounds, A-Star, uncanny miss for him, and then knocking a few points of his own health off in the Molotov. But yeah, like I was saying, they did the exact same thing against Entity as well. They were very aggressive in the anti-ecos, but when it came to the gun round, they were more than happy turtling up into the bomb sites and just waiting for the push to come in. And this is exactly what happened. Just got overwhelmed at almost every peak. Although that Molotov will allow Foxy and Venom to take up better positions in the A bomb site. Little bit of an iffy Molotov, but Venom's hearing all of this going around him. But Foxy, his compatriot, falls in the smoke, in the fire. Everything's just gone up. And, well, Rick's left alone in a 1v5 with an MP9, that too. And he's still gonna manage to find Shabby, so not a bad find. It brings it down to a 1v5. There's a lot of damage onto Proud, but that mad spray and pray on that MP9. At the end of the day, that's what that gun is meant for. But Malhar, quite convincingly, actually managed to pick up their first gun round.
Yeah, pretty fast play coming out towards brackets, and once it got brackets control when they came in towards quads, I was a little surprised that they just steamrolled away towards the A bomb side, just trying to overrun the players there, not really giving an opportunity for Brutality to rotate over. And for Brutality, despite being getting 3 rounds, you can see the fact that they just have that M4 and the AWP to work with and pistols and everyone is because even if you lose just a couple of UMPs and SMGs on those anti-eco rounds, you have to buy up into it. You got to get all that armor and whatnot, and PokerF will perforate Rix through the plank. That is huge. The AWP is lost. Venom playing a little too far away to help his teammate out. And now with Rix falling and that AWP out of their hands, things are looking from rough to really, really bad here. And yeah, Brutality, like I was just touching upon what I was talking about, Archie, would be the fact that, if you keep losing a couple of players, sure, you might be like, yeah, I've just lost an SMG, but you got to rebuy that armor, right? You got to rebuy another SMG or a rifle back into it, and that always whittles away at your economy, especially so early in the game, and especially when on the CT side. So, Malhar on the verge. Still 4 frags to find, but they are, you would expect them to kind of break Brutality's economy here.
Yeah, I mean, Brutality, they've bought themselves to oblivion. They're down to their last scraps of money, so this is a must-win round, and it hasn't started off very well for them. And Brutality, Venom chilling on top of Flarbed, but it looks like it is going to be an A-hit. Proud just lurking in apartments. He secured a lot of map control for them, but in the meantime, A-Star has rotated towards Arches, and he's going to find Shabby. That's a bit shabby from him. He shouldn't be getting those kills, but Proud and Blackhawk chime in 2 quick kills. Venom in the meantime finds Blackhawk. Venom's on the rotation, and Proud, he's gonna fall. That's easy. Foxy loves playing this motorbox position, but now Venom's in a 1v2, and PokerF, he's not taking any prisoners whatsoever. Gets the triple kill to secure that round for his team, and Malhar close it down to just a 1-round deficit. It's still very early days, so nothing really concrete can really be said about the game, but we do have, I think it's Rix timing out of the server. So
they're not.
I think a pause should be called.
Yeah, the pause has been called, so in the last second. So Rick's timing out, but for Malhar, they're going to be pretty happy with this. Venom's gone for the forced buy, by the way. Venom's just gone all in. They've gone for the CZ buy, which is very curious indeed, because it kind of makes sense as well, because you're going to have to go for a double eco, but they're going to be pressurizing Malhar, and on hindsight, it can work out, because the money isn't that great on the Malhar side either. They lost quite a lot of players. They lost 3 players as well. So this could still work out in the favor of Brutality if they do manage to convert this round. But right now, by the looks of it, it looks like only Venom has gone all in.
Yeah, and the thing is, they'll be on the 3rd loss bonus next round, so they don't need to force buy. They could have actually had armor, M4s, and a little bit of utility. They're going to reset the round. I think Venom may have accidentally hit the auto buy bind on his keyboard, buying up instantaneously, because no one else bought into that round, which is what is surprising, right? If it's going to be a force buy, it has to be a team decision. Just Venom buying that armor in the CZ does nothing really for Brutality at that point. And like I said, it's going to be the 3rd round loss bonus, so they're going to get $2,400 if they lose this round. If they win it, that's going to be miraculous. But stranger things have happened. This is Indian CS. It is the landscape that is forever changing. The prize is just around the corner. So winning on a full eco, very much possible.
Which would be really shocking if that does happen. So here we go. Game will resume. Malhar, they have everything to work with. They have opted to go for the AK-47s on every one of them. I would have expected maybe a MAC-10 coming out or maybe a UMP to try and, take advantage of the fact that Brutality will be on pretty much a full eco. On Brutality aren't really trying anything crazy here. They have a couple of PT-50s purchased, but they're going to be playing pretty much default spots. A couple of players towards quads. They have A-Star with the PT-50 towards Archway. A couple of players towards B. So nothing too crazy coming out from Brutality. So as long as Malhar, they take the time, they use their utility, and just go for the double peaks, this should go the way of them pretty convincingly. Rix is going to be the first casualty as Brutality. Yeah, just be looking to inflict as much damage as they can here.
Yeah, and right now it's just again a 2-man advantage for Malhar. Brutality aren't even playing for the trade. They're just peeking up one by one, but Shabby, he found by Foxy. Foxy rattles off a lot of shots. A-Star peeks out and gets Shabby, but then Blackhawk is there on the case. Antidote finds A-Star, and now that leaves Venom all alone in a 1v4 with nothing but a USP, and he is dead. We see his listless corpse and his head just bobbing to the tunes of death and destruction. And there we go. Scores are tied, 3-3. Finally, Brutality will come out with the buy. They are going to be fairly light on the utility, but Brutality have rounds from bleaker prospect back in their favor. I would have liked Venom and Foxy to forego the head armor and get a little bit more utility. That could have actually helped their team out possibly a little bit more. They are going up against the AWP and the AK-47, so that head armor is not going to be doing much, in the first place. And we see a 3-man B stack early on, and they're going to get early banana control. This is good. This is some positive reinforcement by Brutality. They've been very passive in their first few gun rounds, and they've paid the price for it. Now they're actually responding with some aggression. And just as I say that, all that aggression's gone, and they're swung right towards the A-bomb site. What a clairvoyant call from A-Star, who is their in-game leader, because all 5 players from Malhar are stacking mid right now. This call could backfire if, Brutality do decide... Sorry, if Malhar do decide to swing back and hit the B-bomb site. But Venom is playing a rather fast rotation role right next to Speedway. So based on the call that Rix gives, who is fairly advanced towards Banana, playing on top of half wall, they could rotate rather quickly.
They could indeed, and everyone's getting mowed down towards the A-bomb site here. It's going to be Juventa, Venom. They're just winning all the duels, and Pokerev is going to be left alone in 1v3. Bomb is dropped in a pretty rough spot. He spots out Venom, goes for the spray, but Venom will have no trouble dispatching of him. Nice double kills coming in for Juventa and Venom. 4 rounds of Brutality, and more importantly, they do manage to keep 3 players alive. But again, you need to have more players alive. You need to start building, in order to start building up an economy. And you can see, again, the money is getting whittled down to almost nothing here. A-Star and Rix on an average about $1,400. Everyone else below the $500 mark. So they're still in pretty clear and present danger of getting reset once more. Malhar runs again with a full buy. How will they adapt though? Brutality with a 4-man stack again coming out early towards A. And they're going to be relying on Venom holding onto the B bombs all by his lonesome. Although, for the time being, we do see A-Star falling back.
Again, that was just a little bit impatient from Malhar in the previous day. They rushed in, as they say, fools rush in, and they just got mowed down at the choke points. They had a lot of time. They could have actually worked a pick and forced their way into either bomb rotation. They could have done a lot that previous round, but I think even Malhar wanted a change of pace just to throw a spanner in the works for Brutality. Sometimes it backfires, sometimes it works out. This time, again, it looks like it's going to be a fastish play towards the A bomb site, but Juventa, Rix, and Foxy lie in wait. The re-smoke is going to hold Shabby off for just a little while longer.
It is indeed. Malhar, 46 seconds. They are trying to sell this over at the A bombs, and Proud's actually going to crouch walk out. Rix is holding the line, or Rix is going to spot him out. Actually, it's going to be Proud who's head to be spotted out, and Juventa drops him above, but his spray goes wild, and he will be taken down. But Foxy's still there to hold the line, and now Shabby's got control connected. They still have 30 seconds. They can go for a wrap around, and it looks like the call coming in. Now Shabby, can he cut off the rotation is the question. That's Rix and Foxy. They're still turtled up pretty much in the A bomb set, and A-Star, they think it's going to be an A hit. Do they at A-Star? He's trying to flank up from behind, but it's going to be taken down by Shabby. This is such a great call coming out from Malhar, and it looked like Brutality kind of lost their heads there. They didn't seem to have an idea as to what Malhar would do, which is very strange because they knew that there was a player at the very least towards Connector, but they are going to be going for this retake nonetheless. Problem is, they don't have any smokes, nor do they have any incendiaries, and it is going to be the call for the save. Brutality will fall back, and once again, the money has been whittled away to nothing, as Malhar will get to round number 4.
I mean, this is the worst possible outcome if you're in Brutality or a Brutals fan, is winning a round and then immediately losing the subsequent one. You get reset. At least on the bright side, they do save these 2 rifles, maybe even the AWP. That's going to come in handy next round. And but Malhar, really, they have some brains about this. Proud making that amazing call to go just wrap towards B, seeing that the situation was dire, or would get dire if they force the issue towards A. A good mid-round call coming out from Malhar, and they turn the tides of that round. Reset Brutality, and now are all set to go into the lead.
So, what will Brutality do is the question. They're going to go for the Force, which kind of makes sense, because if you look at the money for Malhar as well, it's still poised on a knife's edge. Both these teams 4-4. It's anyone's game. Still very early days. And for Brutality, they start with a CZ. They also have a couple of FAMASs, but that AWP has been very quiet in the hands of Rix. He really hasn't been able to do much with it so far. So one would be looking for them to try something. But I'll be honest here, RJ, I haven't really been like impressed so far with Brutality CD side. It's been pretty very safe, very defaultish. We saw this earlier on those anti-ecos and pissed around. They're playing really aggressive and like strangulating Malhar, it seemed like. But now they're just giving up so much map control so early in the round. I've never been a big fan of that.
Yeah, neither have I. And I have spoken about this, the fact that it's so turtle that, you know, you give up a lot and gain very little in return. There's so many holes, there's so many ways that you can leak, you know, with these kind of setups, that one kill and then you go in for, you're starved of information all over the map, and the T's can literally toy with your emotions, hold off rotations for as long as humanly possible. And that's what keeps on happening there. We see Foxy picks up Blackhawk. It's a 4v3. This time, I think Brutality may just be able to hold it off, but Shabby, what a shot from him. And Shabby, he's still going to be holding the fort towards Library. Rix, though, in the meantime, has snuck in. He is smoked off. It's not like he can really get anything done at this point. Has to wait for the smoke to dissipate. And he does have backup in the form of Venom. But it's a 2v3. It's an immensely difficult retake. That too with very low utility. They have just 2 flashbangs. There is a kit on Venom, so they have the time for that. But that flashbang, perfect. Venom and Rix trying to be the duo of death. But Antidote and Poker, they're just going to put a stop to all these shenanigans, and Antidote recovers his precious AWP. And that's Malhar going into the lead.
Absolutely. I mean, once again, right, if you're going to commit so much to that buy, it was a very... You know, it was a high-pressure buy. They went for it. They had the 2 FAMASs, and A-Star with a CZ. You want to catch Malhar off guard. You don't allow all 5 players to have so much freedom to getting control of Archway, getting control of brackets, getting control of apartments. The second A-Star felt that map, the defense was split wide open. They took both the players in pit. They were just stuck there. They couldn't do much, and especially against AK-47 with a one-tap advantage. It was looking rough for Brutality. They need to really mix it up. Right now, it's an eco. It's pretty much a full eco, so it's fair enough, like, you know. But even the next round, when they go for the buy, they're not going to have much money to work with. And Pokeref finding both the kills towards B. So the B bomb side is empty. Antidote's going to find Fox. He was trying to feel adventurous towards mid. So this round's pretty much done and dusted for Brutality. But again, Antidote with a pretty hard flick goes somewhere else, doesn't quite land a shot on Rix. But yeah, I mean, they're going to go for the buy, but the buy's still not going to be that great, and they will have to try something a little bit unorthodox to convert the round. So you can see the M4s coming out, the FAMASs, the UMPs. They're going to have to take a hit with the weaponry they can purchase, just so they can get that extra utility, and that's something I like. But the way Malhar are playing right now, they're just swarming all over the sides, and Brutality just giving it up. They need to get some control. Like, either go for triple banana, get that deep banana control, or maybe just, you know, go for some apps control, have a crossfire setup over there, or at least force Malhar to expend some utility in trying to take mid and trying to take top of mid, right? They're not doing that, and this time a little bit of a switch up, some nades being tossed in towards banana, so a little bit of aggression coming out from Brutality. Let's see if it works out though.
I mean, the thing also has been the fact that, you know, Brutality have never really had that utility going for them to actually be able to take that early aggression fight, you know, early aggression control of the map. But that's no excuse for actually trying to brute force it. And there we see Proud, silent as an assassin, walks up, just assassinates. But there's A-Star doing A-Star things, gets 2 kills. He's gotten the man advantage back and done a lot of damage onto Proud. It's a 3v3. And we do see Venom. They've rotated early. This could be disastrous because the bomb is yet to go down. Pokeref, just having retrieved it, he's going to plant it as safe as humanly possible. An Antidote with that AWP, playing a rather commonly pre-fired angle. Rix is about around the corner, but Rix is going to get gutted by the big green gun, the Zoom Banger, and Venom in apartments. This has to be timed perfectly. Well, gets one. So 1v2. Can he isolate 1v1s? Why is PokerF peeking there? Antidote's watching the angle for him. He's going to get flashed off. Venom, a very good chance to clutch it. And he does 1v3. One of the most experienced players in Indian CS, showing you around the block. The kids on Malhar just getting schooled by Mr. Venom himself.
That was so unnecessary from Malhar. They get the 2 kills, the 1v3, fine, the first guy dies. There was no need for the second player to peek out, because you got to bear in mind the bomb was not planted for Antidote. So he had no business leaving Antidote in a 1v1, right? I don't really blame Antidote for dying in that round, but the last second player who died, I think, was it PokerF? I'm not sure
Yeah,
who it was.
I don't know why he peeked.
Yeah, I mean, especially PokerF has got so much experience under his belt. There was no need to peek for that. And Venom, I mean, credit where it's due. He held his nerve, but that was the round he should have won. And Malhar just pretty much giving them a free round on a platter. And now, initial contact being made towards Banana. Foxy will win the deal. He's taken a lot of damage, so has Rix, but he will now fall back to safety. Rix with the AWP holding towards a broken wall. And now they have opted to go 4 players over towards the A bomb site. As Malhar, they look like they're lining up their smokes and Molotovs here. They're going to be going for this brackets control once more. It's been the bread and butter so far in all these rifle rounds. I would like to see Brutality re-aggress out, you know. Once they get brackets controlled, it's thrown a pop flash and just push out again. But instead, they will opt to hold turtled up completely in the bomb site. And let's see how this one plays out.
I mean, right about now, the fact that Rix is pushed so far ahead and is getting so much information is what is allowing Brutality to keep 4 players there. We see, oh, not gonna work. These old games, don't play those with Rix. Rix has been around the block. He's seen everything. But that wrap, again, is going to come in. But Rix is ready. He's on 16 HP, though. Needs to be careful. Doesn't matter. What a haircut. Shabby just getting scalped by that AWP. But Proud, still alive. He's still kicking. Juventa is in the gutter. He should be picking up this kill. But he's going to whiff. He's going to whiff hard. But with 20 seconds left on the clock, does Proud have the time? Oh, the movement. He still thinks Rix is here. And he doesn't have time. He has to go commit to the B bomb site. And what?
Rix thinks
oh my God.
Rix has no idea that he thinks the bomb isn't picked up and it's making his way to A, which makes sense. But he didn't know that Proud took a while and he's going to get the bomb down. And Proud, he just might clutch this one out. He's on an ace as well. And I do believe it was a 1v3. So if he pulls this one off, and Rix still thinks it's the A bomb site, is still over at A. And now he's like, oh shit, I messed up. And Proud, 60 HP versus 16, and Rix unfortunately has an AWP to work with, and he has rattled off a shot. Proud knows exactly where he is. All he has to do is play the time, and Rix realizes there's not much he can do here. He will fall back, and Proud has pretty much won the round for his team. What a hero. But again, how did Brutality let that round slip away from their hands?
I mean, I said this in the previous game as well. Brutality have this annoying tendency to split up when it's a 2v1 situation. Venom pushing mid, Juventa pushing there. I get it. It's a play for the, it's an info play. He wants to cut off Proud, you know, before he gets the chance to do anything fancy. Not pushing actually, like him staying in pit rather. When he's got bomb control, he has a better chance of holding it off if he's playing from Banana, because Rix can actually come in and support him at that point. But, well, we have the luxury of hindsight and Trey and all that good stuff, but the players don't. So, how?
Well, I think he hit the pouch, and Antidote's like, I want that kill, and Juventa's like, why are you looking away from me? He gets a free kill, and that hit. I really think that shot hit Rix in his butt or on his pelvis. I'm quite sure it did, but all right, he survives. Antidote falls, and now I like this from Brutality. I like this. It's a full gamble stack coming out towards the B bomb site. And even if Juventa doesn't go there, they're going to be walking to 3 pistols and an op in the hands of Rix, and it's going to be PokerF finding the first kill onto Foxy. But A-Star peeks out. It takes too long, but Venom somehow gets a frag, but he's going to finally get taken out. Rix trying to be a hero. He's going to fall. Juventa valiantly tries to do something special, but Pokeref, he's not going to be stopping. Picks up a triple kill, I do believe, that round. And that is going to be round number 8 for Malhar. And just got to point out something, Archie. Shabby and Blackhawk are on 4 frags apiece.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been Pokeref, Proud, and Antidote just going nuts on different rounds. Like Proud, we just saw like 4K, and I think he clutched it in a 1v3 situation towards the end of it. I mean, Proud, the first time I saw him play was last year when he was playing for JMD Gaming, and he was phenomenal once Antidote joined their roster as well. Because I think it's just something symbiotic that Proud and Anti, they just elevate each other's games, and they've been a phenomenally like just outstanding duo. And Proud, his mechanics, I think of the old GMD boys, Proud was probably the most mechanically gifted of the lot. Right now, Hellfighter and Deathmaker are also doing a fantastic job over at ATE. But Proud, he's definitely been the pick of the litter for me. And the proof is in the pudding. He's just carrying like hard right now. Like crazy kills, like impact frags. As I say that.
You completely jinx it, don't you?
Yeah.
Decide to jinx it. Foxy will find the frag. Shabby knows exactly where Juventa is. Juventa will fall back before he takes any damage from Shabby. But it is going to be a B hit coming out where Venom and Rix are lying in wait. They do have the rifles to work with here. And Malhar, they're already up 8 rounds on the T side, so they're going to be pretty happy with this. Ended up tossing in the smoke with the Molotov towards New Box and towards First Oranges, and here they come exploding in. Rix is playing the anti-flash, he's waiting, biding his time. He finds one, they know exactly where he is. A double peek comes out, the pre-fire, and it's going to be Blackhawk ending Rix. And Antidote from above misses the shot though, and A-Star lucky to be alive. It's still a 3v3. And Antidote drops down from above, and he finally gets taken down, but not before he finds Juventa. And it's all on Foxy here. 1v1, Pokeref at Foxy, and Pokeref peeks out at Foxy. That's all he needs, a sliver of skin, and he finds a frag. It picks up a huge quad kill as well. Heroics coming out from the Brutality players to somehow managing to steal these rounds away from Malhar. It's going to be 6-8. For Malhar, they would be looking to get that golden number of 9. If they get 9 rounds, that's a huge T-side. For Brutality, 7 rounds, they desperately need it.
That was a bit of a misplay out. The post plant's not really being taken, and little bit on the timing and messing up, jumping down to his eventual demise. Brutality, on the other hand, they have a very good chance of taking the half to 7 rounds. Malhar need to be careful. They're very light on the utility. They can't rely on their stock executes that they've been so heavily dependent on so far. That brackets control or that heavy B execute that we saw in the previous round. They have to rely on their frags. They have to get the opening pick. And the thing is, Brutality hasn't really made it very hard for them to work that opening pick because of the lack of map control that they go for time after time. So it's either team's half right now. It can either go 9-6 in favor of Malhar. It all comes down to the frags, and how? Well, how is that Cubby not checked after A-Star's been playing it consistently? He got a double kill from there on the first like anti-force, if I'm not mistaken.
Doesn't really matter though, because they have control of the A-bomb site. There's no one there. Shabby taking a while to get down, and the bomb's going to get planted. It's going to be a default plan as well. I do believe Pokeref just clearing out the site. Molotov. It's all about timing, and Foxy will actually walk in. Blackhawk spotted him out though, and it's completely blind. Everyone's blinded, and in fact, the flash might catch up with Blackhawk and Foxy, but Foxy will come out on top. Now it's a 2v2. Bomb planted. Pokeref turtled up in the side. Shabby in the pit. He needs to get his frag onto Foxy, but now he's all alone. Flashback's gonna pop out. Foxy gets spotted out. The smoke is gonna make life a little bit more miserable than Shabby. He knows that Rix is trying to be sneaky from above. They're gonna have to team up together, but Rix is caught out. It's a 1v1 right now. And it's Foxy just sticking the defuse, and Shabby, he's got to come on out, and Foxy knows that he hears a sound, and Shabby's somehow going to get the clutch, and it is going to be Malhar going into the second half with a three-round lead, and it is going to be 9-6.
And yet again, that round, credit where credit is due, Shabby just went god tier, clutching that 1v2 out, played that perfectly, waiting for Rix to make that first move, gets the kill. Rix so very low, couldn't really do much at that point. And then sticking the final kill onto Foxy, who, you know, didn't have a kit, had to go for the defuse, really out of options at that point. But what I'd like to highlight, was the lack of map control that allowed Malhar into the A bomb site. They gambled, they stacked towards brackets, they stacked towards arches because, well, that's where Malhar had been hitting so consistently over the course of their T side. But this time Malhar threw in a curveball and Brutality were just caught napping.
Caught napping indeed. Brutality, though, 6 rounds in the CD side. It can be enough if they do manage to pull off the T-pistol and win the following anti-eco. So they have the 4 blocks. Oh, an aggression coming out from the CDs. Proud and Anti, they're going to go for the double peek towards balcony. The second mid and Foxy and Ace are double teaming them. And now, early on, 2 men down. Blackhawk's going to walk out as well, and he's going to get spotted out. And Venom and Foxy rattling off bullets. Blackhawk is just going to crouch down and ensure that his head won't be spotted. But the hit is coming in towards the B bomb side, where A-Star is going to find Poker F, and 1 by 1, they're just falling like 10 pins. Malhar, Shabby, trying desperately to get the frag. Venom keeping him at bay, and it's still a player towards T-spawn. It's going to be Foxy with strikes, and Juventa to finish things off by getting the kill onto Shabby. A flawless round coming out from Brutality. A little bit of aggression from Malhar, getting stopped right in its tracks.
And like, such a discombobulated pistol round coming out from Malhar. Like, yes, there was aggression, but there didn't seem to be any purpose behind that aggression. It really looked like they were aggressing for aggression's sake. And Brutality, I think they've done their homework, at least on the CT tendencies of Malhar, because they looked a lot more sure of themselves. Foxy marking for that push into apartments, into balcony, and just getting those 2 quick frags early on into the round, which gave Brutality such an insurmountable advantage. And they just ran with it from that point onwards.
We do see Brutality with a number of SMGs. Couple of MAC-10s, UMP. And there's 2 AK-47s in the hands of Foxy and Riggs. They're the players who got the majority of the frags in the pistol round. And here they come charging in towards mid, where it is going to be Prokhorov getting the first kill. Juventa, however, with a quick trade. The CZs not able to do much damage. Blackhawk, however, is going to strike. He's going to find Foxy. And now, the man advantage with Malhar, as Antidote's going to charge out with a deagle, and a flashbang is good, but the bullets, oh, he somehow still manages to find the frag on the Juventa with the spam. And now Shabby, he knows where Rix is. There's no need to go for this fight. There's no need to give away the man advantage. Man advantage that Malhar have. Bomb will be picked up by Rix, though. And where are they going to go is the question. There is still a player towards Pit. It is Blackhawk. He's got an AK-47 to go, but it goes for the full spray. And A-Star has been tagged down to 13 HP. And Malhar, all of a sudden, they have the advantage here. Proud finds A-Star, headshot as well. And Rix is left alone. Can he pull this one off is the question. He's got full health. He's got an AK-47 on his back. And he's got the bomb as well. He's going to cross it over to B. He should get the bomb down, but he first needs to take a contact fight with Proud. He goes for the spray, does a lot of damage. Proud smartly opting not to go for the fight here. 1v3, and Rix has got a lot of work to do. Finds one, looking for the second as well. Valiant effort from him, but Shabby will drop him at the end, and that is going to be the round going the way of Malhar. I have no idea how they managed to win that. Brutality. Lack of a trade game, looking a little lost, to be honest, when you're taking brackets control, when you're taking mid control, allowing those CZs to go to work. And some heroic plays coming out as well. Antidote pushing in through the smoke with a flashbang. The Deagle somehow getting that headshot onto Rick. So, miraculous things taking place, but Antidote and company, they will seize it with both their hands. And Brutality, they might just go for the force here. Indeed, they will. The AK in the hands of the man himself, A-Star.
I mean, yet again, it's the force by that triumphs over the fully bought team, but we're going for the classic Eastern European by the 1 AK. Actually, it's a 2 AK, so they've just gone for broke. They have to, it makes sense, and it's going to be interesting to see how this round pans out. They could be as aggressive as they were in the last round. Brutality, they have to be a bit more measured, and the objective here should be to draw out the remaining utility, which is extremely sparse, by the way, on Malhar, and then just conserve your own, draw out their remaining utility, and just bum rush a bomb site and just overwhelm them. Brutality, guys, you have the aim, you have the players, you can out-aim them. And I think that's the belief that needs to be instilled in them at this point. They're struggling. That's a good Molotov. Proud, using that one remaining Molotov, putting it to good use.
I like Shabby's positioning, though. He's pushed up, not too deep, but he's holding towards a broken wall, so he's gathering some information that allows Malhar the information to have 4 players playing towards A here.
I mean, we just saw, I think, possibly one of the most glorious Inferno games being played today between Renegades and Mousesports on this very map, where Renegades actually fought back to take it in double overtime, if I'm not mistaken. The Inferno map.
I think that's a triple overtime.
Map.
But triple overtime. In the meantime, though, Foxy gets a frag. Can he get a second one? No, he can't. Rix, however, finds Antidote, and now it's a 2v2. And Ace has got himself in a great position inside a pit. Shabby coming in. The timing is perfect. He's got to find Rix. The bomb is dropped. There's no need to take the fight. It's all on A-Star. FAMAS in hand. 43 HP switches over to the AK-47. Bomb will be picked up, but he's looking to take a fight, trying to isolate a player. 10 seconds. So he's got to stick the plant here. Taps it once. And he hears Shabby running in. Gets a headshot. Beautiful shot. But he has no idea what his second player is. Pokerep has got a kid to work with, and he spots out A-Star. Valiant effort from him, but in the end was not to be. Expensive round for Malhar, but Brutality, bear in mind, they went for a full commit there. They went for a full buy. But at least the saving grace being they got the bomb down. But for Malhar, this is an opportunity to get to round number 12 for free.
I mean, see, Rag Malhar is the rag in Indian classical music to, you know, celebrate torrential downpour. And right now, Malhar are just raining down death and destruction on Brutality. And Brutality have no answer. Now they have to eco in earnest. And Malhar can actually go up 12, extend that lead to 5 rounds. And whoa, okay, as I say that, Crowd unnecessarily pushing, but Shabby, he's going to lay down the spray down. Finds 2 kills, actually 1 kill. Rix with the team kill there. Pokeref needs to be careful. Floors Rix, floors Venom, and that's gonna leave Foxy all alone. And he's on the flank. He can at least try and find 1 kill, if not more. Unless, why are both watching the same angle?
They have no idea that someone's managed to sneak their way in. Foxy can actually. He can find both of them if he times is right, but nope. Oh, Pokeref just peeks out, gets dinked, but he will pick up the triple kill. Savior of that round after Shabby and Proud died early on towards Banana. And Pokeref and Proud have been heroes for Malhar. 44 frags combined between the two of them. While Shabby's kind of picked up, Blackhawk's been very quiet, and Antidote's been uncharacteristically pretty quiet as well. Hasn't really had the opportunity to wield the AWP, much his favorite weapon. But here we go. It is going to be 4 rifles on the CD side with the UMP in the hands of Shabby, and of course a full set of utility. And for Brutality, utility is slightly a little bit more sparser, but it is something to work with. And Malhar trying to... I like this. I like this little switch up, you know, going for a little bit of apps control, trying to find something, trying to gather information. This already is a far cry from the extremely passive and static CD side that we saw from Brutality. You can see Shabby pushing that Banana. This is the sort of CD side you need on Inferno, or else it's just going to get harangued by the T side.
Yeah, you're going to get harassed all over the map, and that's what we saw happen to Brutality. They had no information. That's the whole point of the aggression, is not only to try and find the early pick, but to get a read on what default your opponent's going for. And, you know, if you find the early pick, well and good, but information in a game of CS is just as important. And one thing though, okay, A-Star. This is a man who shall not be trifled with.
Okay.
There we go.
He's just running and killing people at will. As Blackhawk, he needs to do more here. Is whittle down Foxy to 50 HP, but he knows A-Star somewhere around the corner. Spots his foot out, but A-Star's too quick on the trigger. Triple kill for him. He's literally killed everyone in the A-bomb side alone. Literally. All alone. He's done his job. It's on the Pokeref. Is this going to happen, though? It's unlikely. The bomb is planted in Pokeref. Doing a smart thing, he will head to the hills. And smartly as well, if he saves his AK-47, he can drop a weapon for one of his teammates, while the rest of them can't force it up. But will they force it up is a question, because they still will have a 4-round lead. In an ideal world, you'd like to see them try and, you know, eco it out, try and grind it out, try and get as much weapons as possible. As you went so lucky to stay alive. And he's going to peek out, finds Pokeref. After 2 great kills, he completed with the spray. And that is going to be round number 8 for Brutality.
So what I was saying when I got so rudely cut off by A-Star and his bloodthirst was that Antidote has actually moved away from the AWP for the time being, is because he's nursing a wrist injury, from what I've been told. He's managed to get into an accident and has screwed up his wrist in the process. He's been sporting that injury ever since the fabled Kolkata LAN. Yeah, that one.
Favorable Catalan.
Hope, you know, the issue resolves itself, because I miss him. Him on the op is just something very different. He has a very unique style of opping. In the meantime, we do see Brutality having asserted their dominance over Banana. They've gotten full control. Nice flashbang, though, to allow Shabby to keep.
We do see kind of a stack, a mini stack towards Banana and Brutality. They seem to have an inkling that they don't want to be heading their way. They don't want the CZs at that range to wreak havoc, so to speak. Instead, they're going to be opting to go towards A, where Proud and Blackhawk are. They have a decent crossfire being set up, but, you know, when there's no one else, it's going to be very rough. But the rotation has come in time. You have Antidote and you have Shabby making their way here, and it is going to be a little bit messy here. Rix is going to find Poker. The flashback is beautiful, and Venom finds one, but not able to recover in time as Shabby replies back. Proud still in the A, bombs at Deagle in hand, and he has been spotted out though, and the bullets is whizzing past him, and it's going to be Foxy. Runs out of bullets, but he somehow takes out a block and gets to kill Shabby. Replies back with the AK-47, but he's going to be caught a little bit napping there. Juventa perfectly played. Looked a little scary for Brutality, but they managed to come out on top. And that is going to be Malhar now with the buy. No, it might be a second eco coming out here. Might be just pistols and armor. And indeed it will.
Pistols and armor, they can't really justify going for that full buy. Again, they're going to be on the third round loss bonus. So having that money around the $2,000 mark is the lowest they can go if they want to get any amount of utilities. Yeah, armor, pistol, and two. I think Anti is going for the AWP by the glass cannon, so he's just gone with pistols. And oh my god, what a yogi way to pass away! Look at Poker F. He's just channeling his inner yogi. Unfortunately, the body quite doesn't bend that way, and he will have to pay for it with his life. In the meantime, it's a 4v5. Anti isn't really in the pinkest of health. 14 HP.
Yeah, this round's pretty much done and dusted. I don't see Malhar clawing the way out of this, because even though there are two players here, like you mentioned, Anti is extremely low indeed. He's internally bleeding. The smoke's going to be blooming. Proud is not feeling that healthy either. Great flashbang, and Juventus spotted him, and he somehow... Okay, Venom spraying blindly through the smoke, gets the kill. And Shabby and Blackhawk are going to be left with a pretty Herculean task here. I don't think they can salvage the guns as well. Instead, they're just going to fall back, hold on to the Kevlar, which will be very crucial indeed going to the next round, which is going to be the buy round. And it's going to be $2,400 kicking in, so they should have a pretty solid buy overall. But keeping this Kevlar alive means they can just upgrade to the helmet as well, just for $350. That allows them to purchase a lot of utility. You can go for an incendiary plus maybe a flashbang with the money you have saved. So pretty smart call coming out from Blackhawk and Shabby, and it is going to be round number 10 for Brutality. They are not quite done and dusted yet, Archie. They are still clawing their way back.
Yeah, I mean, this is Counter-Strike. Bleh. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. And Brutality.
Stop that shit.
It's an opera reference, you pleb. Get some culture. Please.
I don't listen to opera. I go that metal. Anyways, 12 to 10 for Malhar. Although, to be honest, I had the opportunity of visiting the Royal Muscat Opera, and it was quite a humbling experience. It was something truly phenomenal, because I've only gone for rock or metal concerts, and it was different. It was a very different experience altogether. Quite impressive stuff, but
it's very serene.
It is serene. It is powerful as well. But before we get harassed for segueing a little too far away from what is happening, it is going to be the dual op setup coming out for Malhar. They have Poker and Antidote. Poker very well known for at one point in time in the Indian CSGO scene being one of the top 3 operas in the region. Antidote, looking at the smoke, is just debating, can I probably block that? But it's a little too late. They won't be able to do so. And look at this from Brutality. It's the pain train. It's going to be coming in. The 2 flashes which are going to be popping. One coming out from apartments, and one will be Juventa. But no, Juventa is going to be tossing in the smoke, and it's going to be an explosion of Blackhawk. He's going to not be blinded at all. They're going to just come and drive. Blackhawk goes to the wild spray. Finds 2. Juventa finds Proud. In the meantime, Antidote is getting hunted down, but he somehow gets a nice little flick. He finds one. He's getting hunted from the side as well. Can he survive for any much more longer? He goes for a great flick shot. Finds Rix as well, but Juventa will finally cremate him in the flames. And he's down to 26 HP. He's looking for another frag. He doesn't know where Shabby is. And a bomb is dropped on top of the balcony. So he needs to retrieve that. And that's not going to make life easy for him. He will find it though. But I like how Shabby and Pokerep slow things down. But Pokerep with a pistol out, caught with his pants down and napping. And Juventa can pull off the impossible. Shabby, he knows, he has an inkling where Juventa is, and Juventa's got to go for the A side because he doesn't have time to run towards the B bomb side. And if he walks, he won't get time to get the bomb down. So he has to run to the B bomb side if he wants to get it down. So Shabby knows, he knows that it's going to be the A bomb side here, and Juventa will find it drop down. He will get the bomb down inside, and Shabby biding his time. He will let the plan through, and Juventa, he is stuck inside the side. Smoke's going to come out, but he will be spotted out, and Shabby will have no trouble getting the frag. But that looked a little scary.
Indeed, and losing 4 players on a round that they've spent everything on, Malhar's economy is going to be in a very sketchy place. And in fact, Brutality is the team that's going to have the way superior buy going into this round. 10k on Rix, that's going to really come in handy. He can drop a couple of guns to Foxy and Juventa. Venom can drop, actually, all things considered. And like I said, Brutality is going to be having the superior buy going into this round, considering they have full utility, AKs across the board, while all Malhar have to work with is a smattering of nades, 3 M4s, a FAMAS, and the AWP that was saved in the previous round. They do have 2 kits though, that's one good thing they have going for themselves. An Antidote playing a very ballsy angle, like standing in the middle of mid, saying Abel mujhe maar. And well, somehow, neither does he see anybody nor anyone spots him. So, yes, that's lucky. In the meantime, Antidote. Again, it's the whole static setup. I just don't enjoy watching Inferno being played this way, Bleh. I think that it's the improper way of playing Inferno, and yes, there are improper ways of playing maps, and this is not the way to play Inferno. Everybody way back in sides, very little trade potential coming in for the CT's angle. Finally, nutting up, Aggressives gets the pick, falls back. Good play from Antidote, finding
it's high risk.
Some courage.
It's high risk though, right? He walks in there. What if like a flash pop? There was no one to trade for him immediately. The setup on the A bomb side is extremely spread apart. There's not much trade potential, and unfortunately, Brutality wouldn't really take advantage of it. Shabby's been boosted up in the meantime towards the flower pot, as we like to call it. Smoke's gonna be a little too late. I think he's gonna be completely blinded. And Shabby, what was he just dropped down? His back turned, and Juventa gets 2 kills with no one shooting at him. Proudred, however, managed to get a quick trade. So still a 3v3, still anyone's round, but a beautiful smoke to keep Proud at bay. He's gonna be spamming blindly through the smoke while he waits for his teammates to rotate in. They need to wait for the smokes to dissipate. And bear in mind, for Malhar, they have not one single kit to work with. This is going to be problematic. The Molotov being tossed in as well. And here's the thing. They have another Molotov to work with. Great flashbang. Rix is just using up all his nades and utility. This is great work. And Malhar, they realize there's not much time to work with. They have to fall back. Proud gets a fadeaway shot. They still want to go for it, but they realize the bomb has been ticking away for far too long. And that is going to be Brutality getting round number 11. And this is just a back and forth game at the moment.
I mean, but here's the curious thing, right, Black? Both the players with the kits were the players who were felled on the B bomb side. So had Malhar actually decided to go for that retake, they would have found 2 kits ready and waiting for them right at their feet. But what kept them at bay was some phenomenal utility usage from Brutality. They used those flashbang smokes and Molotov to perfection. Perfection.
That was all Rix. Credit where it's due.
Yeah, experience. Again, experience does not come cheap, and it carries its own weight in gold, in my opinion. And Rix just proving that point. Meantime, Antidote completely blinded, rattles off a shot, no one there to connect with, gets nothing but air. And again, a very defaulty hold, like I'm a wow, okay. 2 smokes simultaneously, that's just a breakdown of communication coming in from Malhar. That should not happen. When you're already so light on the utility, wasting 2 smokes at the same spot, guys, come on, we expect this stage.
As we do see Malhar playing a slightly bit more aggressively towards quads, but just 2 of them. Because they realize they don't have the utility. They realize they don't have the weaponry either to work with. So race starts. Spots out a player, rattles off a shot, immediately falls back, not really looking to stick around much. Foxy, not too sure what's still doing floating around towards mid with the C4. He should be gathering up for the rest of his teammates, unless it's going to be a fake coming out towards B, where it is going to be Poker F, and it is going to be Shabby. To just have the AK-47 and CZ between the two of them. And that smoke and a Molotov can delay them. If they try to go for this B bomb site, they still have another Molotov. And bear in mind, 35 seconds on the clock. So if they're going to sell a fake, they got to sell a fake right about now. And Proud, it's all going to come down to him. He's got his teammate Blackhawk looking to make contact. Proud just going to be playing the bait game here in A-Star. He's going to walk on out, and he's going to spot out Proud, takes a shot, and somehow Proud will fall. But Foxy strikes. He finds two of them, and that's the A bomb site completely bereft of any counter-terrorist presence, and that is going to be round number 12 for Brutality, unless something truly miraculous happens. I don't think it's going to happen, and that should be the call for the save here.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, why you don't turtle up on Inferno. It literally took one flash and a smoke to draw the rotation from the B bomb site and sell that fake, at least to some degree. Enough to draw one player out, and that's all that Brutality needed. They waltz into the A bomb site, caught Poker F still Proud staring into the wall, into the pillar. And, well, Blackhawk just wasn't able to do enough with his spray to get two players. And, wow, okay, Shabby still managing to find the kill. Recovers the gun, but Rick says, no, son, with your head. In the meantime, Juventa finds Antidote. That's just gonna leave Poker F all by his lonesome. And should just chill and make himself some pasta.
Make himself some pasta. 13-12, this game is really heating up. Brutality refusing to roll over and die, and Anti dying that round. That was a huge loss. They lost the AWP. Now Poker F is going to be left alone with that AK-47. I'd like to see Malhar kind of like, I mean, go for a full eco firstly, and just kind of play around Poker F. Try and help him out, you know, let him get a couple of kills, so that second he gets a kill, they can bait for him, for example, and if he gets a kill, they can pick up the guns. Because even the next round when they go for the buy, it is going to be just $2,400 coming in. That's still not a lot. That's going to be, what, $4,400 or $4,300 to work with for the majority of the players over here. So that's like, what, an M4 Kevlar with no helmet and a smoke and a flashbang perhaps. So it's still not much to work with, right? So I'd like to see them kind of like go for a full stack, or try and, you know, help out Poker F to just get a couple of kills in this round. In the meantime, Brutality have a pretty good read on Malhar's money. They have the MAC-10 coming out in the hands of Mr. Cool. It is going to be Venom who will be wielding it, as he'll be looking to farm some money.
And Venom should be putting Daddy's little trust fund gun to good use. Abuse that $600 kill reward, but he's gonna chill. I mean, it's okay because they still don't know exactly where Poker is playing from. And until that is ascertained, I mean, it's still a MAC-10. He can go for that aggression. And he is going to be the one leading the charge. I mean, it's just going to be Shabby towards the bomb site. It is more or less a stack towards, well, towards Shelter. I can't even say it's a stack towards A. It's like three players literally playing in a line at different levels for Malhar. And Shabby's going to have a really tough time with the P2000 and three players now, in fact, potentially headed his way. Yeah, he's dead, isn't he, Blair?
Oh, yeah, he's pretty much done for. It's fine. It was a gambled stack, right? It was a gambled stack, and sometimes it doesn't pan out, but at least they'll be able to save that AK-47, and at least they can use it into the next round, so nothing quite lost. Blackhawk will be caught by A-Star. He was trying to peer down mid and gather some information. Shabby, the Molotov is not quite deep enough, so he will stay put, but he will be checked by Venom. No, Venom's not checking it. He thinks a Molotov has done its work, and oh, he's being so smart. He is being so smart here, Shabby. They have no idea. But he just has a P2000, so he doesn't know what to do, right? As a P2K, it's going to be very hard indeed. And he hears Foxy. He's like, what do I do? I want to get a kill, but he doesn't have a gun. Even a CZ, a P258. Finally, Foxy spots him out. Shabby overstays his welcome. Venom will finally find him, and Proud's even going in for that knife. What is going on here, son? And Poker F will be the last man standing, but a hilarious round coming out, all things considered. You got to feel for Blackhawk. Like, there were three players. If he had a rifle, there's 2 free kills at the very minimum, and he could have prevented a bomb plant from happening. but he just waited. He just bided his time. He was just conveying information to his teammates, saying, all right, here's one guy, just come in, let's try and, you know, inflict as much economic damage as we can, but didn't quite pan out, and now the scores are tied.
That was really unfortunate. I would hope that, you know, Brutality can mess up that Molotov once again, just on a buy round, just so that Shabby can actually show us them skills. He played that so well. I really wish, even if he had a CZ, right? Something, anything other than the P2K. I think he could have gotten some serious damage in there. But the starting pistol, just not what you want, you know, in a golden opportunity like that. And look at that fast play from Brutality. Brutality just switching the pace, turning it into 6th gear, but that flashback, beautiful flashback. Blackhawk from Pate. He's gonna he's dead.
It's on Proud. He's got to go big here. He's got to go big or go home. He's all alone. Back is far, far away. Can he get one more kill? Rick's hunting him down. Proud, just spraying for all his worth, and he'd finally be found out. But I think he did a great job delaying them for as long as possible. A-Star, look at him hugging the wall. Cheeky peek out, gets the frag. I know Malhar. Now they got to start debating again. Do they go for this round or do they just go for the save? It is going to be 4th round lost bonus. It's just 2900s to work with, and it's still not much. But Antidote getting the kill on the A-Star makes things a little bit more possible. Bear in mind, they have the kit and they have 2 smokes. Smoke's going to come in for Pit. They have no idea where Rix is. Rix holding the line with an AWP. Can he get the kill is a question. It's going to be Poker finds Foxy. Rix finds Antidote to 1v1. Rix takes on the season and he clutches it out. Brutality. They get a 14. Rix with a monstrous triple kill. What a round. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going the distance here.
My God, Rix coming up with the goods when required. That is experience, ladies and gentlemen. That is the weight of hopes and dreams of Team Brutality being carried by the lone torchbearer, Rix. 1v2, what a great clutch from him. Perfectly played. I have no words for it. This is just so well played from Rix.
Indeed it was. And despite the heroics of Pokeref in the bomb site, turtled up all by his lonesome, it was not quite enough. Now Brutality. 14. Can they get to map point is a question. Malhar have kind of a shabby buy, no pun intended. A couple of UMPs of Famas, M4. The AWP in the hands of Antidote has gone for the glass cannon. This is a pretty risky purchase. And look at the utility. 2 smokes and 5 flashbangs. That's all that Malhar have to work with over 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining on the clock. That is not a situation, a scenario that you want to find yourself in. There's literally no, there's the last smoke being used up towards B, and that's going to dissipate in about 10 or so seconds, and that means Malhar can just march into the B bombs, and the only thing that's going to be stopping them would be some flashbangs, and the flashbangs has to be perfect. It's Antidote gets taken down to 1 HP. He legs A-Star, not able to get the frag. Now he's going to have to play from a way more passive angle, and here comes a hit coming in towards me. Molotovs, flashbangs, everything raining in. Shabby with a perfect flashbang. He's going to peek out and is going to try and take the fight, but he doesn't want to overcommit, and it's going to be Venom finding Poker. Shabby, what can he possibly do? He finds one, looks for the second kill, goes for the spray, but Juventa will end him. And now Antidote, 1 HP, a prayer on his lips, but bullets whizzing past right in front of his face. He doesn't want to take the fight because he knows 1 bullet, 1 scratch from that AK-47, and he's done for. Smoke's going to bloom out again. He takes a shot, doesn't quite time it right, and the bomb is down. The save call has gone out again, and Brutality, they have somehow clawed back into this game, and they're now on map and match point.
Brutality showing some true spirit there. They were lagging behind by 5 rounds. They've you know, fought their way back into this game. They've shown us that they've got the determination, the grit, the spirit of Counter-Strike ingrained in them. And as I say, that Antidote, even with 1 HP, this man will not back down. He knows no fear. He knows nothing but kill. He's gonna get that kill. And Rix, though, he's got his own op. Proud. He's not at that angle. Cheeky. Cheeky angle held by Proud. All 3 are gonna survive. That AK, that FAMAS, and that AWP. Could be the last round. Could possibly be the last round here. Brutality on 15, Malhar on 13. And it is going to be another 4C buy coming in for Malhar. But this time, they're going to have a lot more utility going forward. Because I think they're on max loss bonus right about now. Or is it the 4th round loss bonus? they're on max loss bonus. So $3,500, $400 is what they're going to get. So that's going to be a lot more utility from them, especially considering the fact that they saved those 3 guns. Crucial going into what could potentially be the last round.
The last round could very well be the story here for Malhar. Once you pull off something truly miraculous, and it's going to be Rix. The shot goes wide. To spot out a player, he knows that they're trying to play a little bit aggressively towards Banana. The third player towards B, Proud, will be rotating back towards Archway. But again, Malhar giving up too much real estate. So that means it's going to be troublesome towards the A bomb site. A-Star is going to find an antidote. That's the first pick. Blackhawk. Is he going to re-aggress out? Yes, he is, but he's all alone. He actually does manage to attack Foxy down to 40 HP. And he will fall back, but he's not able to retrieve the AWP from his fallen comrade. And now Brutality, they not just have the man advantage, they have a lot of map control as well to work with.
I mean, the problem I have with our CT side is not that they're not aggressing, it's that it's very discombobulated. They're very disjointed. They're aggressing solo YOLO pushes all over the map, and they're just dying one by one. Look at Shabby right now. He's going to fall by the wayside. Venom's just going to be like, thank you very much for walking into the, walking towards death with arms wide open. And now Blackhawk, can they pull it off? It's a 2v5 retake on the B bomb. No. 1v5 retake on the B bomb site. And Foxy's just, right now, I mean, Proud. Mate, last round.
I'm not sure. He's just lost his mind.
Yeah, he's given up.
He's given up. There's nothing much he can do here. I think Malhar, they kind of just... This round was very, very strange from Malhar. They just died all over the place. And Cloud just gonna stand there. He's like, alright, just put me out of my misery. And that's got to be it, Archie. Brutality, somehow, it looked like at one point it was going to go the way to Malhar, but Brutality, they managed to grind it out and to bring it back and get the W.
Indeed. Alright guys, I hope you guys had fun. We certainly did. Remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and remember to hit that bell icon because ESL India is live every day around 6:30 to bring you amazing Clash Royale, CSGO, and Dota 2, which is gonna be coming up right about now.
Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership Summer Season Master League. This event is brought to you by HP, HyperX Intel, and organized by Nodman Gaming. That was another great performance coming there from Team Brutality, securing another victory for themselves and also a slot mostly into the LAN finale. If you guys have mixed out the game, you can check it out on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us to get a notification when we come live to you every day with all the exciting games from the ESL India Premiership. We're going to head into a short break now, but coming up next, we have Dota 2, so don't go anywhere. again. Welcome to the ESL India Premiership. Coming up next, we have DOTA 2 for you folks. And this is going to be a very interesting game because we have a team from Bombay who's going to be going up against a team from Mangalore. Now, the team from Mangalore, I don't think you guys know much about them. They're a fantastic team. They've as of now scored 3 points, 3 games for themselves on the board, and also taken victories in all those 3 games. Today, they're going up against the team ROG Titans, who have also defeated our defending champions from the December Masters League. It's going to be signified that they took on as a defeat. So let's first introduce both the teams and then I'll tell you more about them. The first team that we're going to talk about is Team Cullies. Alright, so that is Team Cullies for you folks. As of now, they sit 6th on the leaderboard. I'm sorry, they actually sit 5th on the leaderboard. They've not really taken a loss till now, but today could be the day where they could face their first loss because they're going up against the Titans, who have still not been undefeated in the summer season of the ESL India Premiership. So let's see ROG Titans. Alright, so ROG Titans over there sitting 4th on the leaderboard, have already played 4 games and won all of them. Have also played against the top team Signify and able to take that win for themselves. Also in detail, of course, they have played after the 7.14 draft, so that could be also why they were able to take that victory of Signify. Of course, Signify doing a wonderful job there, trying to take that game. But at the end of the day, the team that is stronger comes up forward. So today, Cullies got to be a little careful. They're playing against a team that everybody fears. So let's see what they're going to pick up in this matchup. If we get the draft on board soon, we'll be able to know what's happening over there. I do know the Team Cullies like to play a very versatile kind of draft. They pick up heroes like the Invoker also for their favor. But as of now, if we look at the draft, we see ROG Titans have decided to ban out the Sand King, the Omni Knight, the Razor, while Cullies have decided to ban out the Tusker, the Dark Willow, and the Bounty Hunter. Now, the Dark Willow was one of the heroes that ROG Titans did use in most of their games, and they've actually helped a lot in their games, and they've also taken the victory over Signify with that hero. So Cullies want to make sure that they don't really have that problem this time. They're going to quickly ban off the Dark Willow, picking up the Earth Spirit for themselves. Now, I've seen them play this hero before and they've actually got a good win rate. So I'm hoping to see whether they decide to also have a different scenario in this case. They're also mostly going to pick up the Monkey King. They do like to play him in the off lane, the Disruptor being one of their favorite supports. Of course, that also means that they have the Winter available if they want to use that. The Witch Doctor, even though getting a little bit of nerf, there is still very strong in his 5th role. So let's see if that hero gets picked. For now, ROG Titans is going to take some time at this pick. They do like to play the Tusker, so if they opt to pick that one up first, that could work for them. Going to take some time on the clock, 1 minute 18 seconds on reserve time, but they're opting to go for the Jakiro and Tiny. Now, Jakiro, after 7.14, actually even before that, he was pretty strong. He's very good at taking down towers. He plays beautifully well in the carries. Safer zone. They also have the ice path available to make sure that in the early stages of the game, Jakiro doesn't really struggle that much. They're going to go pin that down with the Tiny, while Cullies reply to that with the Phoenix. Now, they've already played the Phoenix before again and in the off lane, and they like those rotations coming in on the Phoenix between the 15 to the 20-minute mark. So I'm hoping to see whether they go with that. This could also mean that could go in a 2-1-2 lineup if they opt to play. If Cullies opts to play that kind of lineup, that could favor them. But ROG Titans is going to just ban out that Void. They don't really want that AoE combo coming in there from Cullies. And meanwhile, Cullies is going to ban out the Juggernaut, even though they like to play it quite a bit. That also says that they could play the Life Stealer for themselves with the Phoenix and Fest Bomb. It could cause quite a bit of devastating work in the game. But they're going to take some time on the clock. We're going to see. They're going to ban out the Life Stealer next. They don't really want Cullies to be playing that Infest Bomb combination. So that's going to get a respect ban over there. Also, we see that the Viper is still available if they opt to go for a Viper in the mid lane. But ROG Titans is going to take some time with this pick. They like to play the Pit Lord in the off lane. They could opt to pick that. Very tanky, also played beautifully well by A35. And once he kind of gets his 4 items, he seems to be pretty undestructible. So if that happens, then ROG Titans have a good set of heroes coming in there. But Cullies have to make sure that they have a good front line themselves. If they don't get a tanky enough hero, it could be devastating for them. Now we look at it and we see what the picks and bans are. We see the Leshrak that is going to get a ban from Cullies, and this also means RG Titans is the next one to pick up on this board. They could opt to go for the OD. He's still available in the pool if they want to go for that. Also the mid lane, the Puck also is a very good initiator. That was one of the heroes that ROG used to take another victory for themselves. So I'm hoping to see whether they take that pickup. The Naga and the Nyx, also 2 other heroes that ROG Titans can opt to go for. The ROG Titans do like to play the Nyx quite a bit now. So if they opt to go with that, they have good stuns coming in there from the Jakiro, the Tiny, and the Nyx Assassin. And that also fares well because Cullies will have to invest a lot into sentry wards and make sure that they know where this Nyx is at all times before they get into fights, which could work a lot in the favor of ROG Titans. But for now, they're going to take some time on this pick. The Disrupt is still available. They got to still pick their carry. Cullies looking into this one. They could opt to pick the Luna because I don't think they'll go for the Terrorblade. He's got quite a bit of nerf in the 7.14 draft. So if they do decide to go with the Terrorblade, it could work against them. But Cully is going to secure their mid next. Going to quickly pick up that Viper, which fares really well in case even there is an OD against him, or even something like a Lina. So I'm hoping to see if the Viper gets a good opening. But as we speak of that, we see that ROG Titans decide to pick up the Night Stalker. Now, the Night Stalker is one of the most scariest heroes after the 3-minute mark in the game. Once the Night hits, you're going to know that in the mid lane, he's going to get those quick ganks off. He's going to make sure that his mid is always secure. That means Cully's got to be very careful with also their warding and see to it that they make sure that their mid does not die. That also means that the Earth Spirit has to be constantly rotating into that mid lane to make sure that their mid, the Viper, is in a very safe spot. We're going to just see now what else happens here. 16 minutes, 16 seconds of reserve time on the clock. ROG Titans going to take some time with this pick of theirs. Going to see what they have in store for them. They could opt to pick up their mid lane if that Tiny is in the off lane. They could also opt to pick up the Clockwork if they like. But they're going to take some time. Pit Lord's still one of my favorites, but it's going to be a Tinker mid coming in there from ROG Titans. So that's a good fare against the Viper because he doesn't really need to go in to take shots on the Viper. He could just level up his Martyr machines and make sure he gets all those creeps going. He can also make sure that the Jakiro in his spare time can also stack up a few farm for him. See to it that when the Boots of Speed has to be bought off, he's going to have enough money to even make that into a Travels, which kind of helps ROG Titans take in more fights after the 15-minute mark. Cully is going to secure their 5th role now, going to just pick up that Disruptor for themselves. Good lineup actually coming in there from Cullies. They have a lot of AoE damage that they could really use in their fights. But ROG Titans is known for their split push. So if it kind of comes down to a 2-1-2 scenario, we're going to see Cullies a little bit in a struggling position. They're very dependent on that Viper for the tank. And that also says that they got to pick up another hero that kind of is more tanky for them. Last 2 bans on the board. It's going to be the Terrorblade getting there, a ban by RG Titans. Even though he's nerfed, they really don't want to play against that push coming in from the Terrorblade. So just going to quickly ban off that hero. That also shows that Cully is now going to make sure what they're going to pick up as their carry. They could also opt to go for a DK. As a matter of fact, he's pretty tanky. He could get up a lot of farm in the early stages of the game. They could opt to go for the Juggernaut, but he's got a ban, so they got to be careful about that. Cully's looking for the last ban on the clock. They got to make sure that they don't really know whether that Tiny is actually an off-lane Tiny or is he going to be a carry Tiny. Now, if he's going to be a carry Tiny, it's okay for them. But if it's an off-lane Tiny, it could be also very devastating for them because then they could send the Tiny and the Jakiro in one lane and send the Night Stalker roaming to manage the Tinker and pick up something else in the off-lane. RG Titans thinking about this one quite a bit. They could also opt to go for the Legion Commander, actually, when you think about it, into the off lane. She could farm in the NC. Even the Axe, as a matter of fact, would be a good pick for them. But for now, they're going to use up their reserve time. 1 minute, 13 seconds on the clock. Cully's thinking about this one. They could really go and actually just take out the Legion Commander because if he latches onto the Viper or the Disruptor, that could be one hero down in every single fight that they go against. But Gyro going to get a ban out there by Cullies. They kind of have known now that Tiny is going to mostly be in the off lane and they got to make sure that ROG Titans doesn't have a very strong carry to pit against theirs. this could also make a decision that what could ROG Titans really decide to go here as their carry. I mean, they could go, again, I would talk about the Luna, the Void getting a ban, the Life Sealer's got a ban, the Juggernaut's got a ban. They could also go for a Monkey King. They could all definitely go for a Monkey King. I think that could favor them also with the sight and vision. If we talk about RG Titans, this vision module, I mean, with the Night Stalker not really giving them much of that vision. And then you have the Monkey King who kind of give you full area vision. That could work in their favor. But Cullies is going to make sure now that whatever they pick now is going to finalize their draft and also finalize how they're going to be looking into this game. And this mostly is going to be a 30-minute game looking at the lineup. So Cullies is going to make sure that even if they opt to pick a hero like a Spectre, he gets the basics farm up and running with the 20-minute mark. This also says that even the Medusa is up for grabs. If Cullies is making sure that they need tower damage done, even Medusa is a good option over there to get that tower damage for them. But they're going to opt to go for the Monkey King. It works favorably well for them because they have a Night Stalker in the opposite side who's going to give them very less vision. Now with the Monkey King over there, they also save their carry from really having a struggling early game. At the same time, they also know that when they get into a fight, the Monkey King is going to scout it out for them. It's going to help them in the fight in general. And if they're going to go for a 5v5 kind of combination, this could work well for them. But ROG Titans, very surprising but very fun pickup coming in from them. They're going to go with the Enchantress. Now, the Enchantress, she is very, very strong. I mean, some people say she isn't, but she definitely is. She can just make sure that she enchants the creeps and starts taking down towers. And that is what ROG Titans is basically looking at. They have the mid lane for the Tinker. They have the Jug Hero and the Enchantress to make sure that Tiny gets his farm in the early stages, and he also gets to take down towers much faster in the early phase. And if ROG Titans is able to pull that, then I think Cullies is in a little bit of trouble because they are going for a 5v5 lineup. So let's see how this game is going to go. We have our caster ready, Vivek. So let's get it to the game.
Are you ready to rumble? Are you ready to rumble? ready to rumble? Are you ready?
Wait, I had to restart my computer. I'm joining the game. One second. Hello folks and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. This is day 30 of the summer season. My name is Vivek and we got the ROG Titans facing off versus Cullies. ROG Titans, I mean, they've got the biggest boost to their confidence that they could ask for. They're taking a game of Signify and in a rather convincing manner with this man. ZXE and the Tiny not even dying once. They've also got themselves the Tinker, one of Archmage's go-to heroes. Funnily enough, Cullies did have the last pick to respond to this. And they chose to go for the Monkey King, which, I mean, isn't too bad. Should be decent in the mid game, but I really don't see how they catch that Tinker when he keeps using the Blink Dagger and continuously keeps moving into the trees and just starts to push out lanes. I guess what Cullies are going to hope to do is shut down the Tinker in the lane itself. And yeah, Rizel on the Viper, I mean, he's got his work cut out for him. The problem is, even if you give Tinker a rough start at the beginning, he still goes back into the jungle, manages to catch up, manages to farm his Blink Dagger, his BOTs, and then you got serious problems. Another thing about the Cullies draft is that they're going to struggle to go high ground versus this Tinker. The best way I see them going high ground is if the Phoenix picks up the Meteor Hammer. And mid-Icarus dive, you can channel the Meteor Hammer so you can swoop into the tier 3, channel the Meteor Hammer, come back to where you started your Icarus dive from, and then you're channeling that Meteor Hammer far away from most of the action. Yep, this is the best shot that Cullies have of sieging high ground. The Monkey King, not great at taking down structures. The Viper, not too great either. I don't know, maybe with the Helm he can push the tier 1s early on, but pushing tier 3s, the Viper and the Monkey King are really going to struggle. We did have a small technical hiccup. For some reason, my mic just decided to stop working as soon as we went live. But we got it sorted. I had to quickly just reboot my PC and we're okay. And now the players need a pause. Those if you're just tuning in, you're watching the ESL India Premiership. We got ROG Titans facing off versus Cullies. And Cullies, they aren't at the top of the table, but they are one of the good teams there. I've been particularly impressed with some of their performances, especially the game that was broadcast last Tuesday, where they played Nefarious, if I'm not mistaken. That's definitely one of the best games of Dota that we've seen so far in the ESL India Premiership. Seems to be some sort of a dual lane coming up from A35 and Evil Ash. I mean, they can just run down HN6 and there's not too much that the Cullies can do to punish this. Quick Ensnare coming out from A35, falling slowly, will fall and they might find the trade. But First Blood does go towards the ROG Titans. And Evil Ash looking for more. Pops the Mango, has the Void, the Troll. The Dark Troll Summoner is there. The Boulder Smash, buying time, but the Dark Troll Summoner. A neutral creep on the mission, trying to find HN6. I'm going to cut back to Evil Ash, who's being run down. And with the Jingu, do they have enough to find the kill? No, they don't. HN6 also gets away safely. And A35 already applying a fair bit of pressure onto the Cullies in their safe lane. ZXE, I mean, he likes to play. I'm really quite excited to see what this kid is all about. He's only 18, 19 years of age, and he likes to play really aggressive carries. And it's not just brainless aggression. He plays them in this really calculated, smart way. I think he died 0 times. He at least had a good 10 kills. And I think dying 0 times versus a team like Signify says a lot about you as a coach. That is Bug. Teaming up with ZXC, you can't beat it. He's got the Icarus dive and one bird swoops away from the other. How's the mid lane looking? So, Ryzel isn't really doing too much as far as shutting down Archmage is concerned. I don't know. When I think of the Viper pickup, I think of a hero that wins the lane but doesn't go on to win you the game. And if Ryzel isn't winning the laning phase, what good is a Viper? Sure, he does hit this weird power spike at around the 50-minute mark when I don't know, whenever he hits his level 25 and he's got Nether Toxin, applies a silence in. That's when he starts swinging back into the game. But if he moves into the mid game without having won his lane itself, you really wouldn't be too pleased if you had a Viper like that on your team. Up top, you can't beat it. Having a rough time on the Phoenix does end up getting caught in the trees. Zetisbog, well versed with the ways of the offlaner, does manage to chase him down and does end up finding that kill. Down bottom, Evil Ash or Adrenaline Rush does end up falling as well. It is close to the 4-minute mark, so he's going to come back with that increased movement speed and attack speed. And that untouchable is going to cause problems for the Monkey King. I wonder if he's going to build into a Silver Red just to apply a break onto A35. If he does, I mean, A35 is probably one of the easiest kills for him across the map. Both safe laners getting their farm at the mid lane though. Ryzel dropping low, and there's Evil Ash. First nighttime, secures a kill onto the Viper. Ryzel, even in his grey, manages to find the trade, but he's not going to find the EXP for that one. The boulder smash from Zeal and his leftover Nether Toxin doing more than enough to bring down the Night Stalker. Up top, Zetisbug. Just controlling the creep equilibrium as much as possible. A35. Putting points into Untouchable. Now, Untouchable did get nerfed a couple of Thursdays ago. And I think even Enchant got nerfed. I think the amount of time for which a neutral creep stays enchanted has been reduced. So many patches, so many numbers. I'm not keeping track of the exact numbers, but I play a lot of Enchantress, and I do know that Enchanted gets significantly nerfed. How are the offlaners looking as far as the EXP is concerned? So you can't beat it. He's been playing the offlane the old school way all by himself. A35 has had a little bit of help from the Night Stalker, and he's actually doing better as far as the XP is concerned. They might find HN6, the Boundless Strike is there, but HN6 will fall. Evil Ash gets the kill, looks to get away without being punished, doesn't have the Crippling Fear. The mischance from the Crippling Fear could be huge, but falling slowly without Jingu stacks is just a glorified melee creep. And he's going to end up falling. A double kill for Evil Ash. Zeal makes that rotation on the Earth Spirit, doesn't find too much. Boulder Smash committed, Rolling Boulder on cooldown, can't really punish Evil Ash, but Evil Ash hangs around a bit too long, gets glimpsed back into the kinetic field, and that's where he's going to end up falling. One kill, split by 3 in Cullies, looking to find another. A35 gets kicked back there by Zeal. Fancy footwork coming up by the Earth Spirit, and once again, 1 kill, split by 3. Strong sense of communism in the Cullies safe lane, as they're sharing all the gold amongst the 3 of them. Mid lane. Well, Ryzel, he's getting CS. And he's above Archmage in terms of net worth, but he isn't really shutting down Archmage. And I think if you take a look at the EXP, they're nearly dead even. Evil Ash just walks past the mid lane. And ZXC goes for the Aquila first. I guess there's a case for the armor. Down mid though, you got a Rolling Boulder coming up from Zeal. The Viper Strike is there. Archmage. That should be his first death of the game. Ryzel getting dead for that one, and now Viper running down the Chukiro. Zetisbog walks out of the Nether Toxin, but he cannot escape the kinetic field, as he should end up falling. They leave the kill for Ryzel. Good stuff coming up from Cullies. Moving to the mid lane. Finding a core, finding the support who ended up rotating there as well. They're managing to hold on as far as the lanes are concerned, and now Viper's on top of the net per charts. I want to see ZXC just focusing on the farm, but he's trying to push the Phoenix out of lane. Might even get the kill. Jesus. Okay. That's how he's going to farm. Down bottom though. Looks like we got Evil Ash just running down, falling slowly. Flies over the trees. Finds the Monkey King. Brings down the Monkey King. HN6 is here. Has the glimpse coming off cooldown in a bit. But what good is the glimpse when Evil Ash and the Night Stalker just runs into you? HN6. Slowed down by the Untouchable. Pays tribute to the Matrix and then just walks back to the lane. Evil Ash. Has he got a shrine to work with? No. That's a base trip for the Night Stalker. Not yet level 6, so he hasn't got that darkness. Maybe he hits 6 with the tomb. But this is when the RG Titans have to be a little more cautious with their aggression. A35 increasingly making this lane harder and harder for the Monkey King. I mean, falling slowly is starting to fall off, and the supports on the side of Cullies, they really need to deal with this Enchantress. A35 level 6, 8 minutes in. Look at that. 2 mangoes on the Monkey King. It is monkey season, or rather mango season. Mangoes are on sale, but I don't know, a lot of course they've been buying up these mangoes. Not really sure how much it helps. 0.7 HP regen. A reduced cost indeed, but where's Falling Slowly going to use them? There's no item he can convert them to. He's rarely going to find the opportunity to use them. I guess he's probably going to give it off to one of his supports or use it on one of his supports rather. 7-7. 9 minutes in. I think it's time to take a look at the lanes a little closer. The Viper's doing well, but Archmage, he's still farming. Not farming as well as he'd like. He'd like to get his VOTs by around the 10-12 minute mark, but he's starting to put points into the match. Maybe with a couple of stacks. Okay, no stacks for him in the jungle. No stacks for him in the jungle. So he hasn't got that way to catch up quickly, but he should get that. I think Archmage is their late game insurance policy. So yeah, the Viper hasn't done too bad. I think Archmage has recognized that it's getting harder and harder for him to just walk into the lane. And yeah, Rizel trading hits with Archmage, commits the Viper strike in. Archmage, he's okay with this. He can TP back home, rearm his TP and come back to the mid lane. The good news for ROG is that they've won their safe lane hard. They've won their off lane equally hard as well. And I think the remaining 4 heroes will make space for Archmage, but at the bottom lane, they might lose Evil Ash. Evil Ash ends up falling. They might lose A35 as well. That Boundless Strike doing a fair amount of work. The Nature's Attendants are there, but the magic damage from the Phoenix, more than enough to bring down the Enchantress as well. Cullies, they like to share everything. They're splitting all this gold, and I mean, actually it isn't too bad. Falling slowly, he'd rather get the kill, but he's at least sharing the bounty for the skills that his team has been securing. And I think any gold is much needed for this Monkey King, who was starting to fall behind the Enchantress, but has started to catch up as well. Mid lane, HN6 walks in with the Thunderstrike Archmage. He's got to be careful. He spams the march as hard as he can, but he's going to end up falling. Zeal gets the kill, but might be punished here as Archmage. Well, in death, his support Night Stalker will help secure a kill for him. I have never seen so many kills being shared here. In any game of Dota, don't see the bounty being shared that often. Up top, falling slowly, looks to get the Primal Spring, but you can't beat it. Broke falling slowly's own tree, and falling slowly was stunned up, but with the glimpse, they should find ZXE. ZXE dropping low, has to one charges, but falling slowly with the Jingu, with the Boundless, will secure the kill. And Phoenix has got to be careful with his Icarus dive there. He runs the risk of breaking the trees that his Monkey King is perched upon, and that stun can absolutely cause problems for Monkey King in team fights. A35 down bottom has the Nature's Attendants, but the Sunray is there, along with the Urn Charge. Fire Spirits not available, coming off cooldown in a bit. They've got another Urn Charge. A35 leading them on a wild goose chase, and this is space, but the question is, what are ROG doing with that space? Okay, A35 is going to get away. He's not even going to die in Zedis Park. On the Chakiro, runs right back in. 12 minutes in, he's only level 4. Won't do too much. ROG, they need to make more space for Archmage. He wants that blink. He wants those BOTs. Probably once he gets that blink dagger is when he can really start contributing in these team fights. What I'm a bit puzzled about is why Cullies are just giving up this tier 1 tower up top. They gave the tier 1 tower bottom. They're looking to find Archmage at mid, but they aren't really succeeding. And falling slowly has got to be careful. The toss is there. And that's one way of breaking trees. What? Falling slowly? Okay, Primal Spring, Honor Shrine, the Centaur Conqueror stuns him up. A35's got to be careful. This isn't the safest part of the map, and with the Magnetize, he's going to tick down over time. Zeal just securing the kill with as many remnants as needed, and they're going to glimpse him back into the Static Storm. A35 still alive though. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled onto A35, and he's going to finally end up falling. The damage over time more than enough. Falling slowly does end up escaping for the time being, and I think Evil Ash just ended up TPing mid. A35 just overextending a slight bit there. Might find Zedisbug as well. The Primal Spring is there. Zedisbug slowed down a bit, turns around, drops the Ice Path. Boundless Strike committed. Zedisbug accepts his fate and just sacrifices his life. I think the tomb's been given over to Evil Ash, and he's got the night time, and he's also got darkness if need be. I want to see ROG try and apply pressure across the map, but they want to do this with a little bit of vision, with maybe ZXC's Blink Dagger or a Shadow Blade, which he has now picked up. Maybe this is when they go hunting for pickoffs. They're not looking too good as far as vision is concerned. They have one ward up top near the safe lane. I think it doesn't offer too much useful information at this point of the game. And Cullies, 2 defensive wards trying to keep their safe laner alive. Up top though, their safe laner might just end up falling. ZXC got the damage, and gonna find himself the Monkey King. So now falling slowly, he's got to be careful. He can't approach these lanes anymore all by himself. But there's the risk of a tiny just waiting to pick you off. I think everyone, with the exception of maybe the Viper and the Phoenix, everyone else on the side of the Cullies have got to be careful. As Evil Ash put a point into the Crippling Fear. Okay. Yeah, he's got the Crippling Fear. He's going to try and apply some pressure under the Phoenix, but Phoenix A-okay for the time being. Evil Ash though is going to get glimpsed back into the Static Storm. The Boulder Smash, the Grip, the Magnetize, and with that Sunray, they bring down the Night Stalker. That's 30 seconds of night time where the RG Titans can't do too much, and they might lose A35 as well. Now, the Boundless Strike committed. A35 could have looked to just TP out, but he didn't have a TP, and then that Nether Toxin. I mean, it slipped my mind, but they've got the break that they need to bring down the Enchantress. But the Nether Toxin break applied, I mean, A35 just falls really. At mid, wait, what? Seal? Goes in with the Rolling Boulder. But ROG, they're making space. Archmage has picked up his BOTs. Wants to be a bit closer to his Blink Dagger, but he'll get there. He needs the Blink, he needs the Aether Lens as well. But ZXC, man on a mission, bumps into the Earth Spirit and tries to clobber him down. But Zeal, with the Boulder Smash and the Rolling Boulder, does manage to get away. Infused Raindrops, saving lives since 2016. Evil Ash, meanwhile, is going to get the deny of mid. Cullies, I think getting that tier 1 tower is going to give them a little bit of map control. A35, he's got the treads, he's got the drums. I wouldn't mind the phase boots. I think the increased turn rate is nice. I think he needs to keep his distance from the Monkey King as well, who's practically a ranged hero. But he's gone for the treads. Once the tank up, once I have this little bit of stats going for him. But yeah, I mean, that HP from the treads doesn't really mean too much when you got the Nether Toxin applied upon you. ZXC though, he's continuously looking for pickups. He might find the Phoenix, the egg not coming through. The Boulder Smash is nice from Zeal. He's done his bit, but without any follow-up, it's nearly meaningless. Falling slowly, moving up top. He's got a Perseverance, his Balfury recipe back home in his stash, but I don't think he can do too much with it. Ice Path coming through from Zedisbug, but he's going to eat the Viper Strike, and this should be a death on that Chukiro. Elsewhere, further north, it seems they caught out ZXC, but they do not have detection. The detection does come through. They're getting a little bit of vision from the Nether Toxin. They see him now in ZXC. Being run down without a TP, uses his Quelling Blade. I'm not sure if he was the one who stunned up the Monkey King, but ZXC trying to keep himself alive. The March is there, helping him out. Archmage gets glimpsed back, and he might be the one who ends up falling instead of the Tiny. But they're going to find the kill onto the Disruptor, and Archmage could possibly find one more, as it is A35 who picks up Trev for that one onto the Earth Spirit. RG Titans fighting back, finding a couple of key kills. The good news though for Cullies is that they didn't lose their Monkey King, and falling slowly, just trying to catch up, and he's trying to get that Balfury as soon as possible. ZXC as well as Archmage both ended up surviving. And the RG Titans, I mean, if they lost ZXC there, it could really hurt their chances of just controlling the mid game even harder. Adrenaline Rush, he's already used his Darkness, and now it's daytime. Once again, the RG Titans have got to be a bit careful, but 18 minutes in, we've got our first net worth advantage here, and it's 3,000 gold in favor of the RG Titans. HN6 been looking good on the Disruptor. He's been playing a rather solid game. I haven't seen Zedisbug's impact just yet in fights. It is hard to find it on the Chakira, but maybe once he gets a point into the Macropire with a little bit of setup from, say, the Tiny or the Night Stalker, he could do some serious work. But now he's hunting with ZX. He drops an Observer Ward to the side. Doesn't see too much of the map. ZXC. I mean, this is the mark of a good carry player. You play a hero like the Tiny. Okay, you've been moving around, you've been finding pickoffs. You don't want to get too set in that rhythm. It's also crucial to find your farm at the same time. And he's got another 2,000 gold to his name. I'm curious to see what he builds with it. Zedisbug. What? Nah, Zeal, that's not how it's done. He kicks away Zedisbug away from the range of his Magnetize and then hits the Magnetize. I caught that, Zeal. But, yeah, Cullies. 20 minutes in. Still holding on here. You can't beat it. He's got himself the Veil of Discard. If there is, I don't know, a good Static Storm or any form of setup here, that Magnetize and even the Supernova is going to hurt a lot. ZXC. On a double damage rune. 2,400 gold. What could he buy with it that would really have a lot of impact? He's gonna need a BKB. He could go for the Echo Saber. I think he goes into something like an Echo Saber. At mid though, Evil Ash being controlled. Has the extra movement speed from the nighttime. Gets glimpsed back into the Wukong's command. A flurry of ultimates being committed here for the Night Stalker as he ends up falling. The Dire Courier walks into the mid lane and ends up falling as well. There was someone's Spirit Vessel on that Courier, and I think that was Evil Ash. Or Adrenaline Rush. And
are you ready to rumble?
I mean,
you ready to rumble?
It's okay. He's not going to have the Spirit Vessel for a good 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And that Spirit Vessel, it would have certainly helped versus the Viper and the Monkey King. So yeah, ZXC's itemization, I don't think he's going to be going straight into a BKB. It might be a bit too early. Could do Sanjanyasha or Echo Saber. That's what I'd like to see him build into. Personally, I like the Echo Saber. I mean, you could make a case for the Sanjanyasha. He does benefit from the movement speed and whatnot. But I'd like to see him build into the Echo Saber. Just be a little bit more aggressive. Of the two items in Tiny, I think Sanjanyasha is the safer item. And knowing ZXC, I think he's going to be building into something a little bit more aggressive like the Echo Saber. Or something along those lines. Maybe even... Nah, I don't think he completes the Silver Edge just yet. There are cases to be made for the Silver Edge. You can break the Viper's passive. You can also break Jingu Mastery. So what that does is it prevents the Monkey King from picking up any additional Jingu stacks for the duration of the break effect. But if he's already got 4 stacks, it's not going to take them away. It also might be overkill to get it too soon. I think break doesn't last for that long. Both Silver Edge and Halberd, although they're extremely good items per se, fortunately, they don't last for that long. Their active doesn't last on opponents for that long. And if they did, they'd be absolutely broken. Vipers picked up an Ag Scepter. This is going to cause a lot of problems for the side of the RG Titans. Can disable blinks, can control the Tiny, who just likes to move around in these fights. And I think they've spotted this out. I'm not sure if they saw Rizal. I think if they did, they'd probably just run him down. Now they have smoked up, they're moving towards the bottom lane. Rizal senses this, but even then he walks out into the creep wave. Archmage steeping into the creep wave. Rizal should know what's up. The ice path set up for the avalanche is there. And Viper, although he's a goddamn tanky strong hero, does get overwhelmed when you throw multiple units at him. For now though, he isn't going to fall. He's going to turn, he's going to try and bring down Evil Ash. SN6 will clean up on that one. While further not, they're trying to chase for more. They found Zedisbug, who drops an ice path but ends up falling as well. Both supports on the side of the RG Titans do end up falling. And I think the RG Titans have just discovered that it isn't going to be easy to bring down this Viper. That was ZXC trying his best. And even Archmage was there in the vicinity, but despite all of that, they couldn't bring down the Viper. Rizal with the hood and the 8% spell lifesteal even. Staying alive for long enough for the Earth Spirit, the Disruptor, all of them to make their rotations. And the RG Titans, although they've got this small lead, I don't think this game is going to be a walk in the park. Phoenix swoops by, loses half her HP, courtesy the Impetus. I think what I want to see is Evil Ash just tanking up. Just looking to tank up so that he can just run into the lineup of Cullies and draw their attention upon him. And as long as he does that, that's going to make space for both Archmage as well as 835 and the Enchantress to just keep dishing out the damage from range. I'd like to see more of a Sam Age kind of Night Stalker coming up from Evil Ash. The problem is, per position, Night Stalker doesn't get too much farm priority. That could be a problem. So you've now got a Whale and a Spirit Vessel on You Can't Beat It. So that's going to amplify all the magical damage coming out from him, his squad, the Fire Spirits, the Sunray, and even the magical damage coming out from Spirit Vessel. Spirit Vessel is now magical. So I think the RG Titans are going to build BKBs. I said it was too soon for a BKB, but I think ZXC probably wants to build it next. I'm not a fan of this Yasha pickup. Gives him movement speed. But what the side of the RG Titans need right now is a little more kill potential, or just surviving the fight long enough to turn it around and find kills. The Yasha just allows him to move around faster, gives him a little bit of attack speed, allows him to move to camps faster. And now if he goes for a blink, see, he's queued up a blink. The problem is, he's going to get the blink in, say, the next couple of minutes. If the side of the Cullies just hold on for long enough, I think ZXC is going to feel mighty useless with these items of his. He's prioritized mobility, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's going to be enough for him to just keep weaving in and out of the fight and finding multiple pickoffs. But yeah, the Cullies, they played some good Dota. I think one of the signs of a weaker team facing a stronger team is how badly you lose the lanes. And 25 minutes in, the game is dead even. You got to start now looking at the draft and start looking at how this draft plays out as the game goes on longer and longer. And I don't see how the Cullies go high ground. They're only going to go high ground if they win a team fight versus RG Titans, and the RG Titans don't have buyback. I don't see how the Cullies do Roshan either. They're not a great lineup at taking down Roshan. At least with the Liquid Fire and the Enchantress and maybe a couple of summons, the RG Titans can take down Roshan a little more quicker than the side of the Cullies. And Archmage, how's he looking as far as farm is concerned? He's building into the Dagon. Okay. I mean, I think what the RG Titans are looking to accomplish here is just burst down one hero and take the fight from there on. I think a case can be made for the Dagon here because you want to burst down the Phoenix before the Phoenix gets off the Supernova, in which case the Dagon could work. Maybe him in conjunction with ZXC, they could probably just quickly burst down the Phoenix. And I think you also got to start considering for the possibility that, okay, he's taking the GPM talent, but if he wants to, he could build an Ag Scepter. The reason I'm bringing up the Ag Scepter is that it kind of makes it harder for the side of the RG Titans to really focus heroes in fights. The Supernova could just probably save anyone, and I think a save is handy when you got RG Titans building into so much burst damage. It's also going to help that cause if they want to go high ground. Probably just send the Monkey King. If you want to use the Supernova to reset his HP after he cops a fair amount of damage from the March and the Tinker and whatnot. But yeah, there are options. He's going for the Lotus Orb, which I like. I think the armor is going to help him out a bit. And I think there are a lot of spells against which the Lotus Orb would do work. It take away the Laser Blind. It take away the Crippling Fear. I'm pretty certain it doesn't return too much. But just using the Lotus Orb to dispel some of these big teamfight control spells coming up from the side of RG Titans could be pretty good. I think you can see Archmage building into that Dagon, and he wants to be able to focus on someone. And as long as the Phoenix is there, he can punish Tinker for just throwing out all his spells on one single hero. Possibly You Can't Beat It has spotted out Archmage and him building into this Dagon, so the Lotus Orb would do well in such a scenario. Well, those of you just tuning in, you're watching the ESL India Premiership. This is the summer season, day 30. We've got the RG Titans walking into this fixture with a... Yeah, we got the RG Titans walking into this fixture with a lot of confidence after beating Signifier. But I don't know, this matchup against Cullies isn't looking all that easy. We've got a couple of technical issues, PC problems on the side of RG Titans. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. And as soon as this game gets underway, we'll jump right back into it. Do not go anywhere, folks. You're watching the ESL India Premiership. We'll be back after a quick commercial break.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Folks, looks like we are... Okay, folks, looks like we are back. Satisbug had a small PC issue. All his players got a little too overexcited and started drawing lines on the map. Unfortunately, a few got bored and just decided to leave. But this game, things are just starting to get interesting. And Zeal nearly catches the Tinker there. Archmage, playing with fire here. Zeal knows where he is. Nope, not gonna try. But yeah, 25 minutes in, Cullies, they managed to stay even for a large part of the game, and they're trying to converge upon this top lane. Look at this Zeal. Yeah, Nether Toxin, giving a little bit of vision. 835 is here though. Okay. I have vision of the Earth Spirit. I think that was 835 giving vision for those heat-seeking missiles. But yeah, this is where Tinker starts to become a problem. He's also not going for that Dagon anymore. The Lotus Herb is still going to be just as good, even versus the Sheepstick that Archmage is building towards. But yeah, you might... I don't think there's... look at this. Zeal, come on. This is the 3rd time, if I'm not mistaken, that the Cullies have stunned their own Monkey King. They're also giving up a tier 2 tower down bottom. Satisbug claims the free tier 2 tower, and Cullies, they're trading a tier 2 for tier 1. They might also lose their tier 1 tower at mid. And all of a sudden, the RG Titans, they're just getting map control across the map for free without being contested. The good news is that ZXC can just come back and backdoor this when he feels the time is right. Evil Ash just walks into the mid lane, and he's got a Spirit Vessel upon him. The Sunray is there, the Viper Strike as well. I'm not really sure what Evil Ash was hoping to accomplish. And Zeal blinks ahead a bit too much, has the grip that's going to reveal Archmage, but he might pay with his own life. Another Spirit Vessel being committed, this time onto A35. The Icarus Dive is there as well. The Viper Strike, it's going to do some magic damage over time onto A35. But I think he's going to be okay. He doesn't have the Nature's Attendance. He's dropping low, but elsewhere. ZXC comes in from the backlines, and along with Zerisbak, they'll find themselves HN6. RG Titans, they lose the Night Stalker, but they end up finding both supports on the side of the Cullies. And ZXC is already on the hunt for more. Could just... Zed backdoor the tower. Yeah, he's going to backdoor the tower. Rizal, he's got that completed pipe along with the acceptor. The pipe, it's going to help to some extent versus the Tinker. I don't know. Many of the best minds across the world have come up with some of the best drafts ever in the history of Dota. And one hero called the Tinker has ensured that they couldn't end the game for a good 40 minutes. Heck, they've even lost the game sometimes. This time it's just not the Tinker show. It's ZXC who's been moving across the map, finding these pickups. That's going to propel him closer and closer towards his BKB. Elash, I don't think he got spotted out by the Viper. It is nighttime, so he's got a slight vision advantage here. And he's just going to run away from the Viper. A35, he's completed the Hurricane Pike. I like that Hurricane Pike pickup, especially versus the Monkey King. And he's building towards a BKB himself. The good news for the side of the Cullies is that Viper Strike pierces spell immunity. And it's still a fair amount of control. The bad news is that they just run at you with these BKBs. I don't know if the Cullies are going to be able to do too much. They're losing structures. ROG just claiming towers at Bill here. And all of a sudden, they found their footing. Cullies trying to group up bottom. They got the Viper Strike, the Primal Spring as well. They might find Archmage, but there's the Hurricane Pike from A35. The captain of the RG Titans sacrificing his own life so that Archmage could live with a glimpse. Pulling back the Tinker, and they'll find more as Rizal gets himself a double. They lose the Enchantress, the Tinker, and the Jakiro. All of that courtesy, the glimpse coming up from HN6 there. Punishing Archmage. Just being a bit out of position. It's also this Observer one, just helping out Cullies fight a little bit more effectively around this bottom tier 1, and now they're pushing for a tier 2 tower. I think no matter what the outcome of this game is, I think the Cullies should be extremely proud of themselves. They played some really good Dota. There are a bunch of familiar names and some newer names, and they come together and they're playing really well as a team. And I really sincerely hope that we see more of this the same lineup in a lot more tournaments. There are a bunch of tournaments already that have been announced in the Indian competitive circuit. I want to see more of Cullies. I want to see what this team can do. And I think just having the balls to pick what they wanted versus the Tinker and making it work. This is some good stuff here. You know what? I'm actually going to... We've got what seems to be another issue, but I'm not going to cut to a break. I'm actually going to look at some statistics here. And I want to see... So I know the Cullies did beat Nefarious. Okay, there it is. So I've got the stats to some extent. So they began by winning versus Nefarious. That was their first match. They beat the Council. Who else? Okay, looks like the game is underway. Zerisbak is back. But yeah, they've been playing some good Dota, and I think teams like Buriza and Reckoning, they've slowly got to recognize and respect the fact that there's a team that's as good, if not better than them, in the Masters League. And it truly is a team effort coming out from Cullies. It's not that one player is single-handedly carrying them, or one player has decent net worth and has somewhat decent items, but the others don't. They're all playing equally well. It isn't one player stealing the show. The Viper's got farm, the Monkey King has got farm, the Phoenix keeping the GPM coming in. All three cores have been putting in some work here. And 31 minutes in, really no network to separate both these sides. I'm going to take a look at EXP. It's slightly leading towards the Cullies. The net worth, it's been one with minor ups and downs. Anyone that invests in cryptocurrency would be familiar with a graph of that sort, but really nothing separating both these sides. The EXP slightly in favor of the Cullies. And Viper, he's picked up a PKB. And this is when you start to hope that there's enough physical damage on the side of RG Titans. ZXC dishes out some physical damage. He's going to complete his Sanjanyasha. A35 pierces spell immunity with that impetus of his. But do they have enough to bring down a Viper? Maybe in isolation, sure. But if Ryzel just moves with his team and fights with his team, which is what he has been doing, I don't think he's going to end up falling all that easily. I think you can't beat it. Did spot out ZXC pick up that Invis rune. And Viper even going for the 100 Viper strike damage per second, along with that Ag Scepter. Getting closer and closer to that level 25 talent of his. Viper just leading the EXP and the network charts. Archmage didn't go for the sacrifice, ends up going for the Dagon instead. Now, I think if the Phoenix... wait, what? Okay, they're just pushing bottom. Have the Cullies got detection? Yeah. Phoenix is holding on to some detection. They need a little bit of lockdown to punish this Tiny. But yeah, there are going to be other problems to the side of the Cullies. And I think one of those is that Evil Ash, he's been starting to just focus on farming up. And once he gets his Ag Scepter, things are going to be really difficult for the side of the Cullies. In fact, I'd actually like to see them pop a smoke and try and find a couple of pickoffs, because that might open up Roshan for them. They're still not one of the fastest sides when it comes to taking down Roshan.
Are you ready to rumble?
But yeah, getting your hands on the Aegis at this stage of the game would basically allow Cullies to take tier 2 towers. A35 really confident that Zeresbog will reconnect. He's asked the Cullies to resume, but the Cullies... they're being sports. They're going to wait until the... Wait. Okay, they want to wait. But ZXC ends up resuming. Both teams are showing a lot of love for each other here. A lot of vision coming out from the Cullies as well. They're overseeing the offlane half of the jungle. They've got a Tinker ward. When they were pushing this tier 2, I presume this was when it was planted. They've got one observer ward. A lot of good vision, actually. And the RG Titans have just got this one observer ward looking over their safe lane bounty rune. It isn't much, but it is something. And I think it spotted out... Did it? I don't know. Looks like we got an engagement at mid. There's the Hurricane Pike. A35 copying a fair amount of damage, but the March will allow him to get away. And Ryzel, I mean, he's starting to become a problem. RG, it looks like they're trying to split push as much as possible. I think the RG Titans need to get some wards done. Is Zeresbog holding on to them? I don't know. He's got a Yield Scepter. It's gonna buy him some time in the Static Storm. That's gonna keep here. It's gonna keep him alive also in case the Magnetize is thrown upon him. The use does dispel the Magnetize. And he's building into an Ag Scepter here. Huh. I don't know. I mean, one could make a case for more utility. Maybe a Glimmer Cape, maybe a Force Staff. Maybe even a Spirit Vessel, but I don't think he's going to get charges for that this late. Maybe a Halberd. Both teams happy to just slow down the game, and Cullies going to try and find the Tinker, but they won't be too successful. Falling slowly up in the trees, does see ZXC. I think he sees Zetisbog as well. And yeah, ZXC's got to be careful. Boundary Strike is there. That should have set up for the Side Storm, but HN6 gets control. Even then, they're going to find themselves Zetisbog. And that's ZXC just expending a fresh 10-second BKB. Even if that Static Storm came out, I think the Tiny was going to be okay. As HN6, he's still searching for his Ag Scepter. I think this is one of the most key late game items that any hero can buy, and that's an Ag Scepter and a Disruptor. That's going to ensure that you don't get spells off. That's going to ensure that you don't get to pop your items as well. But yeah, Cullies, they've got other problems to be concerned about. How do they go high ground? How do they play with this reduced vision courtesy the Night Stalker? Look at this ROG. It is nighttime. They've got excuse me. They've got the Ag Scepter and Adrenaline Rush, and they're going to move into the pit. I don't think the Cullies know what's going on. Falling slowly. I mean, just jumping onto the trees further west on the edges of the map. Isn't looking to contest Roshan. Earth Spirit and Rizal, they're standing at a bounty room. And yeah, ROG, they're going to find themselves Aegis and Cheese. Who's got the Cheese here? The Dark Mage? Wait, does Adrenaline... Who was... Wait, was this the first Roshan? I thought this was the second Roshan. Am I... Okay, I think it was the first Roshan. My bad. But falling slowly, he's found himself a Shadow Blade. He's going to be looking for these solo pickoffs. Zetisbog, I mean, he wants to Yule the Monkey King and not himself. But he doesn't get the opportunity to press any of his buttons, and he's just going to end up falling. Now, yeah, this is what Evil Ash needs to do. Hunter in the night along with the Ag Scepter. He's found himself the Monkey King. He's got the Spit Vessel. Falling slowly, moves into the trees. But look at this. Evil Ash just keeping the vision coming in ZXC. They're going to walk in. Archmage is there with the March. Falling slowly. He's got himself the Shadow Blade and he turns. He brings down Archmage and reinforcements have arrived. The Phoenix is there with the Supernova. They look to bring down Evil Ash. They've brought down the Night Stalker. The Tinker fell as well. And ZXC looking around with that Aegis Office. Falling slowly with that BKB. Looking to give chase. They've got Detection. They've got the Sunray. And that Spirit Vessel. And without his teammates, ZXC and the Tiny can try his best, but he's not going to get too much. So Tritos might find himself Zeal. He's running down. You can't beat it. Someone control this Tiny while falling slowly. Moves on to A35. Tries to leave with the Enchantress, but the Hurricane Pike keeping A35 alive, giving him that space he needed while ZXC pops his BKB. Doesn't find the kill, but they'll find the Earth Spirit together. However, HN6 is here. He's got the Glimmer Cape. Has vision with the Thunder Strike, the Sunray. That'll take away the Aegis and HN6. With the Stack Storm and the Wukong's command, they should find themselves the Tiny. They've got the Viper Strike, and ZXC will end up falling. The Cullies, they take away the Aegis, they bring down Archmage, they find themselves the Night Stalker as well as Zetisbog. And all of a sudden, they're the ones looking for a tier 2 tower. That was ROG fighting with the Aegis and being schooled. "39 minutes in, no one really coming out on top here. This game is dead even, and once, if all they've got to do is let HN6 hit level 20, you want him to get that GPM talent. Once he gets that GPM talent, he's going to find his Ag Scepter a lot more easily, and then the RG Titans are going to have some real problems in these team fights. They've already lost all the tier 2 towers. Cullies, they still have the tier 2 tower at mid. And all of a sudden, they're thinking about going high ground, but this isn't going to be easy. It isn't going to be easy at all. I mean, I can't blame the RG Titans for what they did, because they're like, we got Aegis. We got an Ag Scepter on our Night Stalker, just run down the stupid Monkey King and kill him. But instead, they're the ones who end up losing Archmage. And I think you got to respect that Boundless Strike. And falling slowly, in the previous fight, just had his Sanjay Ashra Shadow Blade as well as the Battlefield. And now he's going to have another item. Can he build really? He could go for an AC. That armor. I see he's got his BKB, right? So you want kill potential. Do you want a nullifier so that ZXC doesn't get his BKB off? That could be an option. Or would you much rather have an Abyssal Blade into an AC? He's got options. He's holding on to the goal for now. Perched atop the trees. Is trying to punish Archmage if he gets a little too over aggressive while pushing out the side lanes. And Archmage, he's just sitting in base now. He's got the goal for the Scythe of Vice. This could be the item that the RG Titans were looking for. I thought that item was going to be the Ag Scepter, but it clearly wasn't. And yeah, Archmage, TP's up top, cancel this TP. Huh. And now we got a Scythe of Vice complete on the Phoenix. Give this man his level 20. Let him get that GPM talent. So I think the 40-minute tomb. I think the tombs come online every 10 minutes and he had the 40-minute tomb. I'm not sure if he was the one who consumed it. But he's getting closer and closer to his Ag Scepter. 2 components away. And Archmage planting a Tinker Ward himself. Just so that he can push out the side lane. And I think the RG Titans know that Falling Slowly is just chilling in the tree line. Waiting for the Tinker to show himself. Archmage, he's got a lot of gold, but I think he wants to keep buyback to himself as well. Falling Slowly, he's got to be careful. TPs could come in, and yeah, there's Adrenaline Rush. Or rather, there's Archmage. ZXC TPs into Shrine. Zeal does have detection, has the Force Staff as well. Now, the RG Titans, they are fighting with a huge advantage as far as vision is concerned. They've got the Night Stalker, but it seems as if they don't want to fight, which probably is the correct call to make, because if they fight now and they don't have buyback, and they really don't have buyback on the Tinker, they could lose a tier 3 tower, maybe even Drax. That is Bug. Gotta be careful. Spirit Vessel upon him, gets hexed as well, and this should be an easy kill. Falling Slowly. Just finding kills at will, yeah. Beautiful stuff coming out from the cores on the side of the Cullies. They've kept their net worth going. It's a particularly hard task on a hero like the Viper, who without something like a Maelstrom doesn't really flash farm as say a Monkey King would with the Battle Fury. But Ryzel has continuously been farming. He's getting closer and closer to the AC, which tells me that the Monkey King might look okay. He's actually going for a Lincoln Sphere. I don't know. Doesn't he want an Abyssal? Adrenaline Rush. It is daytime. He's got to be careful. The Jingu built up. The Boundless Strike is there as well. They're trying to bring down Evil Ash. Evil Ash dropping low. But there's Archmage with the Hex, with the heat-seeking missiles. And now ROG will look to turn. But Zeal from the low ground tries to get the grip off. But they've lost Falling Slowly. And Archmage turning it around. Tries to control the Earth Spirit. But there's the Viper Strike. Can they cancel his TP? They've got nothing to cancel his TP. And Archmage will live on the back lines. HN6 ends up falling. ZXC is here with his BKB. Adrenaline Rush finally ends up falling. Ryzel with a BKB of his own looking to turn. ZXC is being controlled. He has no choice but to back off. Phoenix has got a Hex of his own. But at the end of it all, Cullies, they lose 3. They find themselves the Night Stalker. Not the ideal fight at all. HN6 really feeling the heat without... I mean, without the Static Storm, Cullies, they're not as much of a threat as they think they are. And Archmage just spamming out the well played, recognizing that I think there's... Yeah, that Lotus Hub. He isn't too happy about that one. This Tinker Ward though should have been pinged, yeah. Zedis Bug just goes and drops his own Tinker Ward up there. So Cullies, they should be a little bit more careful about that top lane. 835, I mean, he's been farming away. He's getting closer and closer to his MKB. 100 magical damage whenever that procs. And the True Strike, I don't know if he He needs it that badly, but I guess it helps his damage output altogether. Should he have maybe built more defensive items just so that he could run in, soak up damage, and allow Archmage and ZXC to do most of the heavy lifting in these fights? That could have been one route, but instead he's looking to dish out damage rather than soak it up. Cullies did lose their mid-tier DOTA, and I think both teams have woken up to the fact that they're one team fight away from losing this game. I think you lose the team fight, you don't have buyback, could be a tier 3 tower or your barracks falling. HN6, man, needs that Axe Scepter. Needs that huge Static Storm to come through in these fights. Falling slowly. Just walking through the bottom lane. Have they got gems? I think I saw a gem on. Yep. So Evil-Ash has picked up a gem. And we have a pause. That is bug disconnects yet again. And I think falling slowly has got to be a little bit more careful. He's got that Lincoln Sphere, but it's really no protection versus Archmage. I mean, the only way he escapes this is if he pops his BKB and TP's out of there, but he hasn't got a TP. Falling slowly could end up falling, and this could really cost the Cullies. Yeah, the Primal Spring is there. Archmage does see him though, and that's the advantage of that vision coming up from the Night Stalker. Now he's popped his BKB. Evil-Ash could keep chasing, but backup is on through. There's the Phoenix with the Hex. Commits the Supernova. Gets the kill. The bot down Archmage is chasing for more. Darkness committed by Evil-Ash. Looks to run. Has the Hunt in the Night. He's going to be okay, but the Phoenix does consider chasing. They just can't really catch up with this Night Stalker. And an overextension here might lead to a death. Falling slowly. Pushed back by the Hurricane Pike. Revealed by the gem. Might end up falling. And indeed, A35 with the Impetus does a fair amount of work. Another Hex coming through. The Geomagnetic Grip is there onto the Enchantress, but they'll push deal with the Evil-Ash. They bring down the Night Stalker and A35, just running ham with his BKB. His BKB is starting to time out, and the Cullies will look to run him down. Zeal has 2 more remnants to work with. And I think the RG Titans have recognized that they do need Zetisbuck to win this game. They've got buybacks though on both the Night Stalker and the Tinker. They can buy back if they need to. Deal. Well, the rolling boulder is going to miss, but the boulder smash won the Enchantress. Controlled by the Yule Scepter. Caught in the kinetic field. Should end up falling. This has been a really costly fight for the side of the RG Titans. And all the Cullies have to do is march down the bottom lane and force out buybacks. Because without the Tinker, I'm not really sure how the RG Titans hold this. Zetisbuck constantly having PC issues. Gets knocked out of the high ground, and despite being disconnected, he's going to end up dying. Well, they're trying their best to micro him, but he'll tick down to Rizal. Cullies with 4 heroes on the side of the RG Titans down. They should look to push this bottom lane, but the creep wave, it's far, far behind. And Zeal is going to TP up top to deal with the top wave. Now, he did have 2 remnants, but he's left HN6 here. And HN6 has that Ag Scepter. This could be the item that really turns around the fights for the side of the Cullies. They won a fight, they weren't able to claim too many structures. And despite Rizal having the gem, he gets caught out by ZXC. ZXC, multiple instances of the toss will try and punish the Viper, but the Lotus Orb keeping Rizal alive. The Phoenix, however, not so lucky. Archmage with the control sets up for ZXC as they bring down the Phoenix, and Archmage jumps onto the high ground, finds HN6, they retrieve their gem, and they might chase for more. Rizal, with a gem of his own, moves into the trees, but Evil-Ash, just running through the lane, has that vision. He's looking to cancel his TP, and the Lotus Orb, although it reflects the void, doesn't quite block it. 2 piggies chasing one another, but Archmage, the piggy with the Dagon, comes out on top. By this game, it's been back and forth. ROG Titans, and they played a fair amount of this game. 4 versus 5. At least a good 2-3 minutes, but the Cullies playing some quality Dota themselves. Zerxie now has that butterfly, so he's got that armor coming in from the butterfly. He's got that movement speed from the flutter, and more importantly, the attack speed. You know what? I actually have Zedisbog on my friends list, and I'm constantly seeing this guy start his Dota, have his Dota quit. He's having some real technical issues today, and I just hope he gets back into the server and his computer gets fixed. This is Roshan number 2, not the previous one. And this one has Aegis and Cheese, and the RG Titans, they're going to claim it to the side of the Cullies. Want to contest this. Evil Ash is here, has a gem, sees falling slowly. A35 just proccing that link. It's with the impetus. Evil Ash not choosing to get the fight going. It's Zerxie who's running forward. Archmage links into the neutral creep camp. They see falling slowly, but falling slowly with the Primal Spring. Keeps his distance going. The Glimmer Capes are there. HN6 maybe wants to turn and drop the stack storm, but he's going to get hexed up first. Adrenaline Rush running forward. Wants the Void and the Crippling Fear to come through, but the Boundless Strike pushes him away. And the Cullies, they're now on high ground defense duty. That is bug. Giving ROG the experience of what an SEA pub feels like. And ROG just playing with that little handicap. Trying to fine-tune their game altogether. They've got themselves Aegis and Cheese. They did Roshan only S4. And they've got, for the first time, it feels like one side really has a commanding lead. You know, all these factors are really null and void. As long as this man, HN6, as long as he gets off a good static storm, Cullies can just swing back right into the game. Problem is, there isn't the greatest amount of setup for him. Can't see who's pausing the game really. Not sure who's pausing the game. But the RG Titans are happy to play this 4v5. I think more than happy to play this 4v5. They know that Zedisbog's machine is really really messed up, and they're just going to try and work without it. 5 position players making sacrifices even after being disconnected. Look at this, they're smoked up. It is night time. Evil Ash sees one, sees Rizal. If they bring down Rizal, it could be huge. They haven't got the break, but they've got the Hex. There's Zerxie with the Silver. They want to bring down the Viper, but Viper pops his BKB. Zerxie's got to be careful. The Wukong's come on with that extended AoE, controlling all of them. Jakiro will end up falling, and Zerxie looks to run, but he's going to get glimpsed back. Glimpsed right back into the center of the Static Storm. The Supernova and the Wukong's come on, and he's going to fall. Zeal goes in with the Rolling Thunder or the Rolling Boulder, but he's going to end up falling. Falling slowly, pops his BKB, but the pure damage from the Impet is just a bit too much, and Evil Ash with a BKB of his own wants to run down the Monkey King. Spells being thrown left and right. HN6 will fall to Archmage, and RG Titans have only lost the Jakiro. They can look to hang around. They got that vision from the Night Stalker. They've got most of the key cores alive. Almost all the key cores alive. And they could look to go high ground. They've only found themselves both the supports, but they have pushed out the Supernova. They have pushed out the Wukong's command. And they've got the March to help them out. Ouch. Has he... Yeah, he's gone for the plus 50% Boundless Strike crit. I mean, just landing the Boundless Strike is going to do so much. Zerxie doing work with that Silver Edge, but still, they need more than one Hex and one break from the Silver Edge to bring down the wipe up. Zedisbog trying his best to reconnect. Falling slowly, looking for a pickoff. This is when you gotta be careful as a core, because you might go hunting for these pickoffs, but if you do end up dying, it could very well be the end of the game, or it could force you into buying back. I think at this stage of the game, anyone from either team getting picked off is really going to cost them. It is night time for another 2 minutes. They've still got the Cheese onto Zerxie, and now he's spilling into a dead list. Man, this guy's gonna hit hard. He's got it. He's got the gold for the Demon Edge. But he wants to farm his buyback? What's Archmage building into? He's building into his own BKB. Which would be nice for the Phoenix. Falling slowly. I mean, the trees are no more safe, my friend. It seems as if the side of RG is just waiting to farm buybacks. Maybe after they farm enough for buybacks, they might smoke again. For now, I really like what Evil Ash and Archmage are doing. It's always Evil Ash leading the charge, and then Archmage is using the level 2 BOTs to join Evil Ash. I think they've got a ridiculous amount of kill potential between these two. The Night Stalker just provides the vision, keeps running down heroes, and with the Tinker Scythe of Vice and Dagon, they should be able to bring down nearly anyone. And the Cullies have recognized this. They're all just sitting in their own base. They've got to hope that the Boundless Strike sets up for a good static storm. That is how they want to start and hopefully end the team fight. Because if they do get a decent static storm, at least onto 2 heroes, it could really help their cause in these team fights. Zetispark, even despite being disconnected, he's looking well as far as net worth is concerned. Obviously, he's got a 150 GPM talent, but yeah, he's got a good amount of EXP as well. He's getting more EXP than the Disruptor. Huh. And this is despite him being disconnected. What the hell? When did he pick up? When did he pick up an Octarine? Okay. So I think I don't know. I think Jakiro might just be the hero you want to pick up if you have bad internet. Because Zetispark is being disconnected. He's got himself an Axe and an Octarine. He's found himself EXP. I don't know where he's getting all this from. And now he's got the Axe Scepter. So increased Macropire length, duration, and damage. Has he taken the Macropire? No, that's at level 25. The Macropire pierces spell immunity and is pure. Gonna end up falling down. Yeah, they'll find themselves at his bug. Not really sure what the RLG Titans are waiting for. They've got Cheese. They did lose the Aegis in the previous engagement. ZXC's picked up some huge damage items here, but I don't think there's any onus once again on RG to just force the issue here. They are squeezing Cullies into their side of the map. The Cullies, they're being a bit cautious about pushing out these lanes. I think they try and push out lanes when it's daytime. And try and just total whenever it is nighttime. Evil Ash, I mean, he's going to start causing problems himself. Also, I mean, another thing about the Disruptor Static Storm is that if you... Wait, hold on. Mid lane, falling slowly. Well, they're going to try and bring down A35 here. They've got the damage with the Viper Strike. They should find it. He pops his BKB. It isn't going to do too much. A35 dealt with. Cullies. Well, they found 2 kills. But can they find anything else in the back of this? Yeah, so the... Oh, what? Come on. Evil Ash. Evil Ash. Okay. BKB TP is gonna be okay. Yeah, now you got the Axe Scepter on the Phoenix, so you got that Saber. Just in case. Is even building towards a refresher of Zeal. What's he looking like? He's got himself his own GPM talent. $59 in. 10,000 net worth advantage in favor of the RG Titans, and they might find Zeal. I mean, Archmage is teaming in, but they should get that kill either way. And the Phoenix committed the Icarus dive, got stuck in the ice part. Sure, the Glimmer Cape is there, but they've got true sight. The Phoenix trying to help out his poor little Earth Spirit ends up dying himself. An HN6 He used the Glimmer Cape, and he's going to get punished as well. That's a gem on the deck, and now the RG Titans are just surging forward. Another Hex onto the Viper, but they will not pursue. Falling Slowly is here with that Silver Edge. Buyback coming out from the Earth Spirit. They've got buybacks on the Disruptor as well as the Phoenix. But the RG Titans are going to do a little bit of damage in terms of economy and just back off. I think they're waiting for the next Roshan now. It's going to be a refresher shot on that one. Who do they want to give it to? It depends. I mean, you could argue for having Darkness available. ZXC with those toss charges could have a little bit of fun himself. There are options. Maybe, I don't know. What do you want to give it? What? Come on, Falling Slowly. I think even if he hit that, he'd not find that kill. And Falling Slowly, he's built this Lincoln Sphere, and now when I look back upon it, I was really advocating for something like a Nullifier or an Abyssal Blade. This Lincoln Sphere, I mean, I don't know if it's done enough. Wait, Falling Slowly. I think they know. They do see him, and yeah, Archmage is steeping in. He's standing on cover of the Shadow Blade, but that Lincoln Sphere isn't going to protect him. He needs his BKB, but he's getting bashed, and the Hex is out there. The Earth Spirit rolls in, ends up falling as well. Cullies. I mean, those were really costly. That's I mentioned this. If any core, heck, any hero on either side gets picked off like that this late in the game, it's going to cost you. With all your tier 2 towers down, you now got to force buybacks. The RG Titans, they can just keep pushing mid and kind of possibly force Cullies to choose between defending bottom. I said mid, but I meant bottom. Or contesting Roshan. Archmage, he's gone in. He's doing work with his Earth Blade, but the Hex is there from the Phoenix. They're trying to bring down the Tinker. 4 staffs are there, but Archmage should end up falling. And yes, the Phoenix gets the kill. Another disconnect, another paused. Another pause. But who paused the game? Can't really see his name, but they might find Zetisbug here. Zetisbug dies, drops the Macropire before he dies, and Enchantress will fall as well. The RG Titans is getting a little sloppy there. I'm gonna get punished for it. Now, Evil Ash is moving towards Roshan. Yeah, Roshan is up. Archmage is getting a little too over enthusiastic there, just diving a bit too deep. Gets punished. I love how the Phoenix is playing these fights. Just waits until the Tinker shows himself, goes in with the Icarus dive and controls the Tinker, and tries to bring down I mean all of Cullies. As soon as the Tinker is hexed, they all focus their attention upon Archmage and they try and bring him down. Evil Ash, 4 position Night Stalker, soloing Roshan all by himself, but not for long. ZXC is here, and yeah, this should be easy. This is Aegis, she's gonna refresh a shot. Now the Cullies should know that something is up. They're moving towards the pit. If the RG Titans get caught with their pants down around the Rosh pit, it could be really costly. The refresher shot on the floor. Phoenix moves in, gets toss controlled by the Avalanche. Multiple instances of the toss. Quick Icarus dive keeping the Phoenix alive. They really didn't get the refresher shot. They didn't get the cheese either. And Evil Ash, he's out of here. He's got the cheese. He's got the gem. Can pop the cheese if need be. They are chasing for this Night Stalker. Zeal blinking forward. Evil Ash, with that advantage in terms of vision, is going to be okay. Boy, these two are quick. Both Evil Ash as well as ZXC just picking up all these items quickly. And now with Archmage respawning, they could look to pick off the Monkey King again. ZXC, he's holding on to the refresher shot. I'm pretty sure he passes it on to someone. Okay, so he picked up everything at Roshan. I think that cheese on the Night Stalker, which he did end up using, was from the previous engagement. You got a refresher orb now complete on the Phoenix. I mean, sure, 2 supernovas are great, but you want to see 2 hexes as well. RG, they're looking to close this game though. This tier 3 tower should fall. They're going for the finish. They commit the Macropire. ZXC, He's claimed the tier 3 tower for himself. ZXC controlled by the Viper Strike, has the Shadow Blade, will get glimpsed back. But he's not too bothered. The Sun Ray is there. It is a fair amount of damage. ZXC has the Aegis, and even if he dies, they found themselves a Viper. Zerisbog with the crisscross of the Macropire helps secure the kill onto the Viper, and now HN6, he's got to be careful. The damage is there. They'll fall with that heat-seeking missile coming out from the Tinker. The Hurricane Pike doing a fair amount of work. Seal with that Yield Scepter is going to be okay. They've got to buy back on the Disruptor and the Viper if they want to defend this. Evil Ash just pounding away on the structures here with that increased attack speed courtesy in the night time. ZXC, he's got to be careful, but the Earth Spirit goes into the Ice Path, gets control, loses a fair amount of HP, and ZXC will just pop his BKB and run, but he's going to get glimpsed right back. Glimpsed he is, looks to turn, gets a crit. The Monkey King just manning up, looks to get the Wukong's command off, but the Ice Path! The Ice Path from Zerisbog just controlling, falling slowly, and the Monkey King is down for a good 113 seconds. Evil Ash, along with the rest of ROG, will just cruise through the bottom lane, and the Monkey King disconnects. I think the Cullies should know that he doesn't have buyback. Okay, they called it. Have they actually called it? Okay, looks like they have. A rather anticlimactic finish here, but what a great game. 65 minutes. Some really good decision making and itemization coming out from both teams, but RG Titans just coming out on top here, showing us that they have what it takes to end the game quickly around the mid game, and showing us that they have what it takes to play out these really tense late game situations. Anyway folks, that's it as far as today's Dota 2 broadcast is concerned. My name is Vivek. I'd love to hear your feedback. You can ping me at facebook.com/VEEWAK casting. I'm going to throw it over to the panel. Angela and Wagish, it's all yours.
And there we go, ROG Titans securing another victory for themselves and sitting undefeated on that board as of now. Cullies putting up a brilliant fight over there, between actually neck to neck, going there with ROG Titans. For somewhere in the line, I even thought Cullies would take this game, but we do have Archmage on the Tinker, making sure that his team is going to stand strong at the end of the day. And with this, we come to an end to the ESL India Premiership for today. I would like to give a shout out to our sponsors, owned by HP, HyperX, Intel, and all this amazing stuff brought to you by Nodbin Gaming. I'm your host Angela for now, saying goodbye to you, but I will see you tomorrow.